Just a bloke in a bar.
What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to another episode of Bloke in a Bar, brought to you by Bloke in a Bar. Grab a case, smoothest, crispest, easiest drinking lager. If you're a Queenslander, drown your sorries. If you're New South Welshman, celebrate the victory. Now, look, is this the lowest point in my life? Maybe. It may be. Look, it can't get any lower, that's for sure. Now, obviously, we made a bet. That if off air, so at the end of last show, we said we would make a bet and we'd
come to some sort of an agreement.
The agreement was that the loser had to paint themselves in the colour of their state. And obviously that I am the loser. I feel disgusting. But I'm here with a great Hello Sport, Tom and Eddie and Tom. How you going, boys?
Fantastic.
Mate, how do you think?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
One of the great Origin wins all time. They're calling it the greatest win of all time.
Greatest team of all
By the
time.
greatest team of all time, all sports, in the history of mankind, going back at least 200,000 years. And now you're all blue. So, you know.
You've gone blue-faced, dude.
Yeah, blueface. It's look, it's tough times. You know, to be honest, this year's been pretty tough for me. Not gonna lie to you.
Is that now, we're 3-0 against?
Yeah, we are.
We're 3-0 in bets.
I feel like
Tom and I don't lose, ever.
No, we don't.
I feel like my sacrifices for the people I love, the Broncos and Queensland, don't really get appreciated by them.
No, they don't give a fuck.
They don't care.
Like I'm humiliating myself on a weekly basis for my team and my state, and I don't think they care.
It
hurts. It hurts.
You are like the first ever Blatchy's blue. You look at you. You look fantastic.
You are. Are you actually Blatchy?
you Blatchy?
Are you related to Blatchy?
Not related, but I feel like I'm in a toxic relationship right now.
How did you apply that?
I basically got the missus to paint the face, and then you just put gloves on, and then you just fucking
rub it all over.
Rub it all on.
Hey, you look great. You look tremendous.
good.
Thank
How
you.
does it feel being hated by the rugby league gods? Because we're adored.
No.
They smile upon us.
Our gods are the Viking gods.
Okay.
You know, we're the god of war. Sometimes they punish you to see how strong you are.
Right.
And right now, because we had such glory in the halls of Valhalla, they're testing our strength.
Yeah.
Okay.
To let us back into Valhalla.
Okay, right.
Maybe we got a bit too big for our boots. Maybe Odin, if that's his name.
I mean, look, it sounds like you're getting wrapped up in your own bullshit here. Look, the rugby league gods just don't like you.
Look, you don't understand Origin. You don't understand.
Oh, you don't. We don't understand it. We don't understand it, mate.
Look,
we get it. Don't worry about that.
Anyway, so the truckies.
Yes.
Pre-sale ends. When does the pre-sale end?
Pre-sale ends this Friday. Selling like hotcakes. Never knew understood that saying. I don't know if hotcakes sell particularly
Well, I think it's
in
because
general.
I think it's because hotcakes at McDonald's sell.
So it's a McDonald's reference?
I don't know.
I think it predates McDonald's.
The only time I've eaten hotcakes is at McDonald's.
And no disrespect,
Okay.
if you still eat hotcakes at McDonald's, then you're a bit of a sicko.
No. Well,
They taste like carpet.
They're pretty good.
they used to be as if you never used to get hotcakes
As
at
a
Macca's.
kid,
Yeah.
sure. But with my mature adult palate, hotcakes is carpet.
I'm a
Strongly
sausage and
disagree.
egg guy now.
Sweet carpet.
Strongly disagree.
Really? You like the sweet carpet
Still like
taste?
the hotcakes. I think they're a bounce out, almost a go-to.
Look, I get
Oh,
it.
will you Uber Eats hotcakes?
100% I'll Uber
Oh,
Eats.
wow.
Hotcakes, 2 bacon egg muffins, 3 hash browns. And then I go hotcakes, bacon egg muffin, hash brown, bacon egg muffin, hash brown, bacon egg muffin.
Is there any difference between a hotcake and a pancake?
I'm not sure about
No, there's
is
not.
a pancake hot? It's a hot pancake.
Yeah, pancakes are hot. It's just
No, but you can have a pancake. Is that a pikelet?
No, pikelets
No,
are small.
pikelets are smaller,
Okay.
and I believe the ingredients are slightly different.
So the trackie sale ends Friday.
Yes, the trackie sale ends Friday. Doesn't include pancakes.
Does not.
No,
Does
nor
not.
pikelets.
No.
Nor pikelets.
But you can
You can order them.
eat
if you-
pikelets in the bounced out trackies. You can eat
Okay.
hotcakes in the bounced out trackies. That's what they're for.
Okay, fair enough. So perfect for eating pikelets, pancakes, or KFC bounced out trackies.
Yep.
Okay, perfect. Also, a new part of the show, a segment, if you will. Go to About Even. It is the greatest betting show, maybe in the history of mankind.
Yeah, definitely.
What we're going to do each week, you guys are going to do each week, is go to About Even's episode, bet what you think the score is of a game. So, for example, I'm going to bet a case of beer that the Broncos are 15 plus over Manly. And you guys will choose one person out of the comments section to give a case of Bloke in a Bar to if you lose that bet.
Correct.
If they win that bet, they can choose to send you a case of beer. But they probably won't.
They probably won't because you're all dogs, with the greatest respect.
Yes.
But just
Look,
drop my sonnies.
we would appreciate an apology video.
Yeah, we'll take an apology video over a case.
Okay. So it goes, Go to About Even, watch the show.
Yep.
Put your bet in the comment section.
Yep.
Tom and Eddie will reply to that comment saying bet has been taken. And then if you beat Tom and Eddie, Eddie and Tom from About Even, the greatest punting show of all time, they will send you a case of Bloke and a Bar to your door.
Yep.
To your door.
To your door.
Well, maybe even deliver it.
Maybe you deliver it.
Maybe.
Dressed in blue.
Look, I feel like I'm committed already enough to this, but I would consider helping out more in the future.
Yeah,
we can discuss that.
Yeah, we can work that out. But yeah, that's it. So leave the comment.
It's a hell of an offer.
It is. It's a good offer.
It's a hell of an offer.
We will throw your bets out, basically. We're pretty game. We're obviously very successful.
We're very
so good
game.
luck.
Obviously, we're cherry picking the bets, which works in our favour, but we're game. We're game.
And also go to About Even's comment section on YouTube, or you can do it on Instagram too. Would you
go on
that?
go on the YouTube show. So just add it's Hello Sport on YouTube, the YouTube channel, and About Even and the podcast there as well. But just leave it in the comments there.
Okay, now all of the that out of the way.
Yes.
It was a famous win for New South Wales.
Yeah.
Only a few nights ago up at Suncorp Stadium. I think it is the first time ever Brisbane, Queensland were ever held scoreless at Suncorp.
Yep.
That is.
It's the greatest margin a series has ever been won by 70. The last was 60 in the year 2000. Matter of fact, if New South Wales lose by 10 points in the next game, they'll still equal the greatest series winning margin of all time.
Which won't happen.
Give me your thoughts on the series and the win.
Well, firstly, it's a get your brooms out situation because we're about to sweep you fuckers.
Have brooms ever been at a higher?
Brooms selling out across the country right now.
Like Big Broom is licking its lips because brooms are flying at the moment. We haven't used the brooms down in this great state since the year 2000.
Correct.
So we've been waiting patiently for the brooms to be used once more.
are
Some people have
booking
thrown them
holidays
out.
to
Some
broom.
people have burnt them in that time frame, like 21 years, long time. But brooms are out.
Brooms are back. Brooms are back.
Brooms are back in
new
vogue.
vacuum?
Yes.
Yes.
And
they're actually vacuum would be the new broom, but people.
No, but that's what I'm saying. Like everything comes back.
It's come
again.
back. It's retro. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
So brooms have never been more, I guess, in or vogue right now.
Yeah, brooms are in vogue.
Brooms are in vogue,
and rightly so, because as you rightly pointed out, 70-point differential. Tom and I like to call it 76 because Tommy slipped over when Capewell went over, and we don't count that, and nor should the people. People.
Was that a banana peel on the field?
Yeah, there might have been, probably thrown by you dog.
Well,
so
exactly.
we're calling it 76 points, and it was basically a bit of a procession on Sunday night, wasn't it? I mean, we showed up, we rolled up our sleeves, we got into it. Bit of dirty work early, but then it was just like, all right, fucking try to stay with us.
We kind of stay with us. It was like, oh, this is nice. They're actually making a game of it for the first 10 minutes. You know what I mean? Like, oh, they're actually playing some rugby league. They're actually making some tackles. Great hit, set the tone off the kickoff, dry arrow.
Yeah.
And then, after 10 minutes, as has been sort of the case, you guys run out of puff and just give up.
How'd you feel about that? Your forwards walking after 10 minutes? Not a great sign.
It's been a tough series. It's been a tough year.
Yeah.
Sometimes you've just, as you guys are well aware, you just got to take your licks.
Oh, we've taken licks.
We've taken licks before.
That's why we're licking now.
We've experienced glory that will never be experienced again. So, sometimes when you're at such heights, the dizzying lows, they can be quite dizzying.
And were you dizzy on Sunday night? How'd you feel?
Upset, heartbroken, but almost angry at the fact that I'd have to stare at you two for an hour and a half with your smirks on your face. And the fact that it's one series, but I know already in your head that you're talking dynasty. I know you're thinking that already.
What do you mean?
Your word's not ours, but yeah.
No, but it's not my word. I know,
you just said it.
No, but I know you're thinking it.
We didn't say shit.
We didn't say anything.
No, but I'm saying.
But I'll use that word now. Now I'll use that word. Dynasty, 100%.
Dynasty, that'd be nice.
It would be.
I didn't even think about that.
I always felt like there was one around the corner, Tom. You know what I mean? During those really dark, horrible years, I knew going to bed at night that a dynasty was just around the corner, and here we are, living it, breathing it, smelling it, tasting it, enjoying it, loving it. It's fucking terrific. Like, I didn't know it'd feel this good, Tom.
No, it feels safe and nice and like,
But probably better than all that is knowing that the side that fucking won this series so comfortably has to be in the conversation for one of the best teams of all time, if not the best. And I'm not using hyperbole. I honestly think that if you go back through Homo sapiens' great teams over the years, you know what I mean? Like some of the great rock throwers,
even
200,000 years
even
ago.
to apes. You can go to the great apes.
Look, if you want to go back to a common ancestor, but that unifies all the great apes, then so be it. then so be it. I'm happy to go back
just think there's
to
some great
10, to
games.
20, to 30 million. That's fine.
I think there were some great games pre-human. That's all I'm saying. I just thought,
Of course, and that's a great point, Dan, and point noted. that Blues side, they'd fucking mix it with the best in the last 30 mil.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So
Fair comment?
Yeah, I mean, it's a fair comment. Yeah. It's a fair comment.
Do you think now, because obviously I think last time we spoke, you were very bullish on the side that you'd picked, Queensland. You were like, this is a great side. This is a really good side.
Yeah, but we lost Hot Boy Reece, and you guys,
Sure.
You guys literally called up and was like, "Oh no, he might 10 months too late. Ronaldo can't make it."
Well, I mean, he wasn't eligible, so
If Ronaldo plays,
What do you do?
If Ronaldo plays, we win.
I mean, you know what? Imagine if Mike Acevo played. You might have won then as well. What about fucking Taumalolo? What about Sonny Bill?
If Ronaldo plays, we win.
What about Cristiano
The whole
Ronaldo?
series in that one game.
Yeah, you may as well get. I'm surprised you can get Cristiano on the blower the way that you fucking Queenslanders carry on, trying to pick anyone. That must be your that's your MO.
Yeah.
Like pick a bloke and see if anyone says anything. And finally, New South Wales, your head honchos have had the fucking nerve to call you out on something.
Just going, you know what? I'm fucking sick of this bullshit.
You know what I mean?
Oh, I do know.
We got another Folau situation on our hands.
Another
or
Greg Inglis situation
on our
Okay,
hands.
so James Talmau doesn't ring a bell. 2012, whole reason why the fucking rules
you
got
mean
changed.
Aussie James?
What do you mean, mate?
Aussie James.
He came out of the womb singing Waltzing Matilda, mate.
Yeah, what are we talking about?
What a horrible example.
Clutching at straws.
Look, I think that both, I'm the reason one here, both states are guilty of it. Absolute G up that he wasn't allowed to play. But I'll grant it to you. I think that if you were to take out the ability to repeat and consistency, if you take out that facet, you could make an argument that it is one of the most destructive sides we've seen. But I think that consistency and the ability to back things up does hold sway in that argument.
Yes.
What about then just the most potent backline you've ever seen in the history of the game?
I mean, it's honestly, it's fucking right up there, that's for sure. Because you could argue Tedesco is on the track to at least challenge Slater. And then what's crazy is some say that he's, maybe not even the best fullback on the fucking, I still think he's the best fullback in the world due to consistency. If not form-wise, obviously Tommy form-wise. But if you're going to say who's the number one fullback, I think you say Teddy. Then you've got Tom Trbojevic, who's putting up numbers we've never seen before. Latrell Mitchell, that just fucking goes absolute beast mode.
Yeah, he was in a mood.
I think To'o had the best debut from a winger, one of the best, debut from a winger's series from a winger I've ever seen. Valentine Holmes rings a bell. I think 2017, he scored a hat-trick in the decider. But To'o ran for 230 metres each game.
Did he go another 200 in the second game?
Another 230.
Dude, he was so fucking... He just worked his ass off the whole game. Yeah. Taking tough carries, ripping and tearing. Not letting, I think he dropped a ball. He didn't let any of that... Didn't let any of that sort of rattle him.
Yeah.
Just kept going. Saved a try. I mean... No offense to Cole Felt, but no match for Brian To'o. No match. Close.
Well, I believe that he was so integral to the start of your sets. If you don't have Brian To'o, it's a different ball game. Quite a big different ball game in my opinion.
So only 20 plus?
No, I think that different ball game.
Okay.
So much closer.
Latrell, though.
Oh, my God.
Another great night for the big fella. Fucking hell. He is just a motherfucker.
He's now Wally Lewis medal favourite. Without winning
I'd give him the Wally. Give him the Wally.
Without winning man of the match in either game.
Give him the Wally.
He's played the best over both two games.
Don't get me wrong. Teddy was fantastic. But the big dick plays, big dick plays, was Latrell going, I'm playing State of Origin. You look like a little bored in me. I'm just going to pick you up, rake the ball out, and we're going to score a try.
Yeah.
Then Holmes, you're going to try to get out in goal. No, I'm actually going to hit you.
I'm going to pick you up, brah, and I'm just going to fucking put you back in there.
You're going to try and hit the winger and score a try? No.
Yoink.
He's 120 kilos, and he's not getting caught as well. You know what I mean? Obviously, Coates caught up to him, but he still didn't get caught.
No. He still scored the try.
Still scored.
Honestly, I just think you've got too much fat dick in that side.
There's way too much hog.
So big
we were concerned before the game whether they were going to fit in the building with all the hog they had. We were like, how do they do this? What's the protocol here with sort of, hogs into the ground?
Well, I think they turned a blind eye to hog per square metre, Tom.
Yeah,
They had to. Because otherwise the game would have been called off.
Look, if there's records of margin, there's got to be a record for hogs per square metre.
Yeah, greatest concentration of hog in the Southern Hemisphere, maybe actually in the planet. I haven't looked into the Northern Hemisphere yet.
No.
Look, they're still crunching the numbers, but early data suggests that,
greatest concentration.
No, I've actually thought about this quite a lot and deeply.
Correct.
And I was thinking, should they start weighing fat dicks before they play, like boxing, weight divisions?
Like weight, like a weight for age, but it's like weight for hog weight.
Yeah, like if you've got too many
Weight for
fat dicks
hog.
in your team, you shouldn't. It's like if you've got too many marquee signings, too much fat dick. It's too much for the game to handle.
So is it like a salary cap, but for hogs?
A dick cap.
Well, yeah, but like a handicap, a dick cap, like the Melbourne Cup before Origin.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
it's like,
That's what I was saying.
So you Queenslanders are so defeated that you're trying to bring in a dick cap.
yeah.
I'm just throwing it out there.
So we've got to play with extra weight if our hogs are too big, or how does that even work? Or to
You lose a man.
You lose a man.
Is it basically? Look, you can play with 17 men or 13 men on the field,
but
you've got to weigh. The hogs need to weigh the average of 13 men.
Yeah.
So if you've got Tommy Turbo, he's 2 or 3 men there.
metric ton in hog.
Yeah.
So you'd lose players? Is that what you suggest?
I'm just saying, just as the salary cap keeps things even, a dick cap would keep Origin even.
So you can't have too many big dick players on the field at one time.
I just think that's the only way we're going to even this up at the moment.
Yeah, well, Queensland fit under that cap very easily.
Yeah.
They're light on for hog.
They're light on.
So are we in agreement on a dick cap?
No,
or
we're not.
Okay.
No, we're not, because that'd drastically reduce the potency.
I'm
of our side.
in agreement that it would help your chances.
Yeah, sure.
I mean, I think, if you wanted to even it up, it would make sense. But
Okay.
we're not in the mood for making fucking concessions.
No, we're not merciful here. No.
Oh, yeah, okay. Fair enough. I mean, I'm just throwing it out there. It's just a way to help out great game.
desperate ploy.
Look, I just want the best product possible. That's all I'm thinking about here. I'm not thinking about Queensland win or loss. Like, if Queensland won by 70, I would still say the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you know what gets the people off the fence? Like, am I going to watch Origin night tonight? Maybe, maybe not. Like, people that just sort of...
Your fair weather.
Your fair weather fan.
Yeah.
Big hog gets them over the line. You know what I mean?
I do know what you mean.
Imagine a hog in slow-mo with Rabs calling it. You know what I mean?
Yes. I can imagine that.
That brings the people back to the races.
That would bring the people back. I mean, Rab's calling a big hog down the sideline.
Down the sideline. The hog's in the clear. There's no one in front of him.
He's
Can't be
penetrated the
stopped.
line. Look, I think it's at least something to discuss.
Look, it's certainly worth bringing up.
Certainly worth bringing up. But anyway,
Is Kurt Capewell hard done by? Has he been hard done by the state, just being left in the centres twice against Tommy after getting fucking bitched in the first game? And that's no disrespect to him, he's not a centre, but just getting bitched beyond belief in game one, and then game two getting bitched beyond belief twice. Maybe,
Yeah, look, I think that's very aggressive language you're using. He still ran for 180 metres. He still did stand Tommy up. The one try that was scored was on Tommy, your man.
100%.
Maybe his hog was slowing him down.
Possibly. It came across a little bit like a sacrificial lamb almost, though. You know what I mean? Like, it didn't make sense to me, and I'm being serious here.
Fucking blue
Blue shit everywhere. Fucking hell, honestly.
You pick the same centre pairing 2 games in a row.
It's crazy.
When the centres, for us, were the ones that did all the damage.
Touching your face, bro.
You look great, mate.
Thanks, mate.
You look good.
Can't notice it.
No.
What I'm thinking, it's all over. Got to order some more fucking beer things. I agree with you. Like, we got away with, and Finchy brought up a good point. We got away with it last year because you got ambushed. Whereas this year, what I would have done is I would have watched all the centres that are actually eligible, and I would have said, okay, let's say Chambers or whoever, ex-player, I would watch their games against the best centre that they played all season and say, how did he defend him? Did he hold his own? That's who the player I would have selected. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. That's how I would have gone about it. I wouldn't have cared about experience. I wouldn't have cared about, form in attack or whatever. I would have literally picked a player that handled us the best. Like, let's say we chose someone that played Joey Manu and we watched the game, we go, he actually handled Joey Manu really well. That's who I'd pick.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure why we stuck with Capewell in the centres when he's so potent in attack. We should have been using him to run at Cleary.
Yeah.
And also, he knows Cleary's ball playing ability. He knows what plays are going to be played. Do you know what I mean? If there's one guy that you want constantly marked on Cleary or close to Cleary, it is Capewell. Because let's say you've got Capewell, you've got the 7, you've got the centre, and you've got the winger. Capewell can be like, he can look up and he can say to his 3-man, this is what's coming. He's going to hit short or he's going long. You know what I mean? Like, he's literally the only back rower in the comp that could probably defend Cleary really well. So I didn't get that decision. Now I understand that we don't have that much depth. I get all that. I totally get all that. But surely we had someone that was a specialist centre that could at least defend better, it's just unfair on Capewell. He was still one of our best players. So I agree with you. Capewell was hung out to dry, 100%.
Do you think that you just sack Paul Green now, or like what happens there?
No, I think
former Queensland coach Paul Green.
No, I don't think he's former yet. They're looking like they're going to activate his second year.
Oh, love that.
Apparently, the second year was the second year option in the QRL's favour was in case he signed with an NRL club. But what's weird about that? Why was it in the QRL's favour? Wouldn't it be in Green's favour if that was the case? So that's all very strange. And it seems like that article that was written was, maybe passed down from QRL to defend the situation that's happening. But I think he deserves more than 2 games. And you got to remember, like, was it Queensland was so poor, or was it New South Wales so fucking red hot?
Bit of column A, bit of column B, potentially.
Look, I don't think anything that he did from a coaching perspective would have fixed the outcome, but picking the same centres again is an example of like a bit of a weird call.
Definitely an error.
From my perspective.
Yeah, I think it was an error. I think that probably Paul Green would, I don't know if he would, but I can't see anyone that could look at that and say that wasn't an error.
Reid Marnie being let go
that
from
was
camp,
an absolute error.
That's a fucking bit of a bed shit.
Well, it all comes together because, so you've got Reid Marnie who gets let go from camp and is allowed to play 3 days before. Then you get Harry Grant who plays quite a lot of minutes in that first origin. Then he plays again against the Tigers and does his hammy. A hamstring is mostly a fatigue injury. So not only do we lose Reid Marnie due to the decision to play Harry Grant, we actually lose Harry Grant due to the decision to play Harry Grant. You know what I mean? So I do believe there's been a lot of errors that we'll learn from, and Paul Green will learn from. I think he'll probably be a bit more selfish in the sense of he'll say, Reid, like, even though you're not playing Reid, you're not actually allowed to play,
for your club,
because we need you for the game. Because it did look like the game 2 on Sunday that McCulloch, you can't expect McCulloch just to come in at 9 and like know who to pass to and like, you know what I mean? Especially when you've got DC and Munster who really does lead that.
What do you mean though that McCulloch doesn't know who to pass to? How the fuck does that happen?
Well, because who's the big dog?
So that's not identified?
Well, that's
who's the lead playmaker?
It's very easy to say that's who you pass to, but when you haven't played any footy together and it's in the heat of the battle, do you know what I mean? And you got 2 people calling.
Would they both be screaming for the nut?
Well, we don't know. Maybe not. When Munster came off at half time, he said, we're calling for it and we're not getting it. I don't know whether he's talking about players not getting to spots or whatever, but there was clearly confusion there, and that's why
coaching though, right?
No, but that takes time to gel that. You know what I mean? Like if we had Reid Marnie from the start, he would have at least had game 1 to build a bit of a relationship. Whereas we had Harry Grant, then he got injured, and we didn't even have Reid Marnie in the camp. We brought Andrew McCulloch in, late-ish. And you know what I'm saying?
I know what you're saying, and this isn't actually like coming directly at you, but to me that just sounds like horseshit excuses when it's like these are the best fucking players in the game.
No, bro. It's so much tougher than you think out there. Just to go, oh yeah, we haven't played together, but I'm going to know, where does he want the ball? How quick is he? Does he need it on his? You know what I mean?
I understand that sort of a thing, but I mean more like the thing where like Munster's coming off going, no one's listening, like no one knows, like we're disjointed and all that. Like that to me seems like if you haven't got that sorted in your time together, like. The best players kind of need to be able to get that shit sorted in a week, don't they?
Otherwise, it doesn't just happen like that. Like, look at New South Wales. That's like saying for those years, how come they couldn't work together well? Do you know what I mean? You need time to play together. The reason why Queensland was so good is because Cronk, Slater and Smith had played together for so long. When you look at New South Wales, the reason why they played so good is because Jerome Luai, Isaiah Yeo and Cleary, they knew where to be for each other. They knew, for example, Finchy brought a good point up in the podcast on Monday, is like there was this shot and Jerome Luai runs into dummy half because the 9 is not there. And then you can see it, and Isaiah Yeo is like that. Now, he immediately knows that he's going to get the ball to Isaiah Yeo, and he knows Isaiah Yeo is going to pass to Cleary. Then he knows where he's going to be next. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like he knows what's going to happen. Whereas
they've done this a million times.
Exactly. Whereas if that's not Isaiah Yeo that hasn't played with them, maybe he just catches the ball and runs. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So then, to that effect, like Queensland always going to struggle if any team's going to struggle if the opposition has that many fucking players from the same team.
Well, you just need either a very experienced 9 that gels really quickly. But I just think that the reason why, or a coach that's drilling in like who is the leader. For example, I felt like last year when we won, Wayne made it very clear that Munster was the go-to guy. So DC, it seemed, in my opinion, took a little bit of a backward step, and all he was trying to do was get Munster the ball. Whereas game 2, it looked like DCE was running the show, and Munster, especially in the first half, didn't really touch the ball much. And then second half, when we looked a little bit more dangerous, Munster got the hands on his ball more. Plus, Benny Hunt came on and started like pretty much calling the shots. You could even see after the game, it was Benny Hunt talking to everyone in the huddle and that. And so when you see all of these different things happening, clearly there's a breakdown in like who is the leader.
Yeah.
Is it Munster? Is it Hunt? Is it McCulloch? Is it DCE? You don't know. My opinion is you go, Munster, you're the man going forward for us. You're 26 years old. You're a part of the selection process in the sense that, Cameron Smith, when he was the leader, he would have helped decide who is
playing.
Yeah. For example, if there's a wide running forward that they need to select and they're not sure and there's not much depth, Cameron Smith's going to go, choose the Melbourne Storm. I know he's going to get the job done. He's going to listen to me and he's going to get to the point. There's so many times where if I'm Munster and I say to you, ex-player, I want you to get to the goalpost right there. Now, that guy starts running and he sees a bit of a gap 10 metres to the right. So he be selfish. Instead of getting the quick play of the ball there that he's not going to get recognition for, he skips across thinking that he's going to make a line break and offload. All of a sudden, they're not at the right point of the field. Whereas a shitter player that's just going to do what Munster says or DCE says is going to get to that point there, which is going to create a try-scoring opportunity. And that's why combinations are so important.
Right. So then just to try and get back to what you're saying though, then if there's no clear fucking message or understanding, you say Wayne came in and without actually knowing, but it seemed like he was like, Munster, you're the man. Cherry, just get it to Munster.
Yeah.
If that wasn't clear then this year, that seems like a coaching thing, right?
Yeah, it's a mixture of both. Maybe Paul Green did say Munster was a man, but DCE felt that he could steer the ship around. Or maybe Paul Green is a more structured coach and he thought DCE should be the man. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
when that could have just been an incorrect call because Munster is the guy that's going to get you points. I'm not sure, but it seems like even in the press conference after DCE said, we may have to change
the game plan.
Yeah, the game plan. And I was like, bro, your fucking coach is sitting right there.
That's what I was like, we were saying. I was like, holy shit, dude.
Yeah.
He was like looking at Paul Green after he said it. I'm like, oh.
And so clearly there's something going on. I don't know what it is.
Queenslanders turning on each other. You guys don't get Origin, man. You don't get Origin.
We've been saying that all week.
Queenslanders don't get Origin. You guys are like, what the fuck do you do? You're all turning on each other. There's no fucking pick and stick.
I know. After one series.
Yeah. What about fucking Xavier Coates? It's like, thanks for game one, but you're not, you're clearly like one of the best wingers in the game, but no, we're just going to get rid of you for some 7-year-old kid. And then, oh no, sorry, actually, we're going to bring you back. We're going to bring you back in.
Were
and
you not saying when in doubt go hot? Did you not say that last week?
Yeah, but I wasn't in doubt about Xavier. Xavier.
Who would you drop then?
I wouldn't have dropped. I probably wouldn't have brought him in.
Okay, so there was no doubt for you then. We just got beaten by a record amount. Shouldn't there be doubt?
Yeah, there was doubt, but I mean, I guess when in doubt go hot, but I think Queensland was like when in doubt they got desperate. You guys got desperate.
So we were
instead of going hot.
So we hadn't got a Ronnie Coote in a while.
And you just went anything.
We were like, fuck, honestly, I'll do anything.
Yeah.
Then we
instead of going hot.
And you still went hot, which was more just like an accident, but it was like a poor decision ultimately.
Do you think that, what do you guys think from New South Wales perspective? Do you think he did his hammy the night before?
Or it was just a major
do you reckon it was a wool pull?
I think it was a wool pull to misdirect attention.
What a stupid wool pull.
It seems like that's a lot of effort to try and pull wool when no one really gave a fuck.
I mean, that's all we talked about though.
No, we cared that he was in, but I mean, like, if you hadn't pulled wool, then it just would have been like, all right, cool.
So you don't think it's a wool pull?
No, I'm saying it could very well be. I'm saying it's a typical dumb Queensland move.
No, we're not saying it's not a wool pull. We're saying if it is a wool pull, it's one of the worst wool pulls of all time.
I think it's a great. It did what it's. The whole.
Did it serve its purpose? You lost 26-0.
No. But just because we lost doesn't mean it wasn't a good wool pull. The purpose of the wool pull was misdirect attention from everything wrong in Queensland. All we were talking about is Reece Walsh. So for that specific thing, it worked.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Its intention wasn't like, if we do this, we will win.
It just took some heat.
How do we take some heat off the fact that we got beaten by a record margin? I know. But
the thing is though, when the wool pull, if that was the wool pull, the moment that Reece Walsh wasn't playing, everyone was like, oh, Fuck, are you going back to the same fucking backline as last time?
But you've got so little time that the reason.
Do you know what I mean?
it-
You're like, oh, thank God he's not playing. Oh, great. Yeah, back to Valentine Holmes at fullback.
Yeah, but
Fells
it
on the
did
wing.
its purpose though.
No, it didn't. It didn't work at all.
No, but
He's saying it did because it distracted us from how shit they were for like a week.
It's not about the game and the result. It's about the media talking about Reece Walsh. No one in the camp of Queensland would have been sitting there going, "Oh, this is going to trick New South Wales and they're going to be scared off the game." Not at all. It's to reduce pressure to the Queensland players. It's to help them out
Because they can't handle pressure any of the week.
Well,
Yeah, I get that.
Okay. Taking
Whereas, like, New South Wales are diamonds because pressure
Builds
makes diamonds.
Yeah.
Whereas you're like, straw houses. You blow over in a fucking stiff breeze.
one win, honestly. It was fucking 7 months ago. We fucking historic win.
That's actually true. You're the shortest reigning Origin champions ever because it was only like a few months.
Which it basically backs up what Tom and I have been saying for months now, that it didn't count and no one cared.
So that was basically our third straight.
It was.
So it either counted or it didn't. Because if it counted, then we are the shortest. If it doesn't count, then we are the shortest.
No. It's up to you. Either you count it and it's the shortest, or you don't count it.
And we're 3 on the trot.
So it's up to you.
So you're 3 on the trot.
Yeah.
Easy.
What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts on hearing the great Freddy Vorton? May as well call it now.
Dude.
Well, I think let's be honest. Let's be honest. Fatty basically speaking for the state there.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a Queenslander alive that thinks you can get the W in Game 3. So you may as well just call it off.
Has it?
Sorry, no, you go.
Oh, I was going to say, hasn't Origin ever been cancelled because it's just like fuck it?
No, but
It's a Queensland.
we've
move,
never
though,
come
to do
across
it.
a weaker side.
That's true. It's the biggest win in the history of fucking Origin, right? So maybe this is the time to do it. And like Anastasia conveniently shuts fucking Queensland down after this loss. Like, oh no, we've got a COVID outbreak. Everyone fucking.
Oh, so you
3
think
days.
Anastasia's going to lock the border so they can't go play? Therefore,
Well, I think it's more like maybe a week of mourning for the state, and then potentially a built-in excuse if the Game 3 doesn't happen.
I would have left them up there. This is the New South Wales players, if we had to, and played the third game at the Gold Coast just to get the trifecta of wins.
Yeah,
That'll never happen again.
Wouldn't
that be nice narrative?
Happen.
Wouldn't that be nice narrative?
That'd be fantastic. We on
Three
pump in the Gold Coast.
3 from 3 across the border.
Seabus Super Stadium.
Record winning margin.
you know what's
All in Queensland.
What's
like
scary?
Jesus.
Could you what's like the scary situation Queensland are in though? If you beat us when we're fucking rolled up 26-0 and 50-6, like I feel like New South Wales have got a big heart on right now. I feel like they're more pumped for Game 3. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
There is a feeling of like fuck, like Queensland are reeling right now.
Where we almost like can't wait to get to Game 3.
It does feel like that.
Fuck.
There is this feeling of like Queensland, like holy shit, because you're just full of superstars, and that's what I want to. The next question: Cleary is out for Game 3. Who replaces Cleary for Game 3?
Adam Reynolds, in my opinion.
Yep.
I'm going Mitchell Moses because
Yeah, I like Adam Reynolds.
Carry
Great
on.
kicking game.
if you had to win it, if it was like a win game, you're going Reynolds. I'm going Mitchell Moses, 25, 26 years old. If you bring Mitchell Moses in, you give him experience so that just in case Cleary is injured in going forward or any half is injured, you're blooding another half. If you're trying to win, you go Reynolds because he'd suit Luai really well.
Yeah.
But it's the series is obviously already
But
won.
don't
so
you
why
want
not
to
blood?
sweep him? If you got the opportunity to sweep,
But what's more important?
sweeping, dude.
Developing, but you think Moses isn't got like? Of course, it's just, you know what I mean. He's probably going to still help win.
Oh no, definitely. Look, I'm not anti-Moses, but I'm more pro-sweep.
Just completely,
I just want to fucking destroy you. I just want to fucking burn everything.
We're
and just
in
sweep.
we're in a mood to sweep.
Yeah,
Denon.
dude.
And fuck the development shit. Like Cleary's good to go, baby.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
Cleary's
he'll be
23.
he'll be fine. And if he's not, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. I'm not
Yeah.
worried.
So you're looking
Either
for
you're
today.
made from Origin cloth or you're not. This whole develop him just in case crap. Fuck that. Fuck that shit. Like did Munster need a little bit of development time? Like
No,
he
he was in
just
and he
turned up and he
throbbed.
ripped. Like you don't. That's bullshit.
Okay.
No.
Get into it.
All right. So fuck it. Just live for the now.
Live
Fucking
for the
oath.
now, sweep, dude.
Sweep.
When you've
Sweep.
got an opportunity to sweep and sweep well and true, you got to sweep.
You gotta
mate.
sweep,
They
dude.
fucking rare as hen's
We
teeth
haven't
to
swept
sweep.
since 2000.
We're due a sweep. We
The
need a
garden
sweep.
needs sweeping.
Okay.
I'm living in fucking shit. There's shit everywhere. Living in filth.
So you think Renault's the man to come in and sweep,
Fucking
sweep
oath.
hard and true?
Good kicking game.
Great kicking game, Tom.
Dependable. He's
Can
played
sweep too.
Origin before. Can sweep.
Likes to use a broom.
Yeah, good with a broom, we're hearing. Father of 4, so he must sweep. There's a lot of shit going around the house.
Yeah.
Moses, a single man, he'd have his house would be a mess.
No, it would be.
And Reynolds is moving, so he would have had to clean. He would be cleaning.
Correct. He's already cleaning as we speak.
He also enjoys a spring clean, I've been led to believe, Reynolds.
Yep.
Very pro spring clean, whereas Moses...
Again, young bachelor.
Bachelor pad vibes, you know what I mean? Like, it's all about
fucking
getting the honeys in and out as opposed to cleaning up after himself. That's what we're hearing anyway,
Okay.
Just from a purely sweeping perspective.
Yes.
Okay. Well, I would go Moses, but obviously you would go
You're a Queenslander,
Reynolds.
though. You're not pro-sweep.
Of
course you are. You're trying to sabotage the state
No,
right now.
I'm trying to help you develop. You know,
Smurfed up over here.
I'm literally trying to help you get to some semblance of an 8 in a row, and it's never going to happen. But I want you to experience a bit of that love.
How long are you allowed to sort of talk about the 8 in a row?
Literally forever.
Right. So, like, is that like? I mean, because you know, like people could still say like Dragons fan could still be like 11 in a row from the 60s. Like, does anyone really give a fuck? You know, like, because right now you're not good.
But it was relatively recent and it was historic.
Yeah, but you know what? The news cycle's so short these days. It's actually more like,
Mate,
it
was actually a fucking long... It was
like
basically 10 years ago.
It ended in what? So
2013.
Yeah, but didn't...
It's 2021.
But didn't we go on and win 2 more after that as well?
Well, that's like fucking... We broke the circuit. So it's 2013 is when it finished.
Okay.
8 in a row. You can't have 8 in a
How
row.
much? Okay, we won't do that then. Who's won more Origins?
You'd have.
Okay.
I think.
Sweet. That's current.
For now.
Is that current?
Technically.
That's current though.
I think it's 22-16.
Yeah.
That's current. Though,
Well, it's
isn't
sort
it?
of current.
Much
but not
smaller
really.
state, much less teams.
Look, no. What we're saying is you can say that.
Okay.
But you can't go, 8 in a row, fucking 10 years ago, like, you know, let's fucking...
You can say we've won more Origins. I think that's fair.
Okay, we've won substantially more Origins. We've got less population, less footy sides, less money put into
That's
the
like
system.
me walking around going, hey, I'm actually under 15s athletics champion.
Yeah.
Fucking, you know
That's
what I
No, but
mean?
this is current.
No, you're talking under 15s.
No, but we're talking about current. Like in Origin history, we're the better side. We're the better state.
No. You've changed the argument. That you can say that. You can say that. But this 8 in a row crap is like me saying that I was under 15s athletics champion. And everyone's like, bruh, how the fuck is that relevant?
Yeah, but I believe it is relevant.
Do you know what I mean?
Because I believe it is relevant though. But I'm trying to meet your standard that you've set up.
Yeah,
that I can't.
yeah, meet our
So
standards.
I'm saying, even in my world and your world, we're still better than you. That's what I'm saying.
Well, I don't know about that.
No, but okay, if you want to live in the now, who won? You know what I mean?
Okay, so we're going
Stay
Reynolds.
humble.
Reynolds. Going
Stay humble.
Mitchell Moses. Okay.
No.
Now,
Sorry, mate.
Now, does this hurt Penrith's chances to win if he does get a reconstruction or he's out for
Yeah, they're saying he might be for the season, right?
Well, look, if he's out for Origin,
I would be very surprised.
if he's out for Origin, but he's a little bit different now. You could probably, if he does need a reconstruction. Now, I played through like most of the year needing a reconstruction, but I'm a winger, so it doesn't matter if you damage me long term. Do you know what I mean? Like, he's just going to replace me.
Yeah, right.
Whereas you can't replace Cleary. That's true.
it's a ruthless business, right?
That's fucking true.
I don't matter at all, and you just put someone else in my place.
But whereas Cleary, the whole club and state, arguably, revolves around him. So not only do you, if you do play him for the rest of the year to win a premiership, you risk damaging it more. You know, where do you think this puts Penrith's season? We'll say first he's out for 6 weeks. Where do you think it puts their season? Do you give Storm the trophy now, or
No, not in 6 weeks. Where would that get us?
Round 20 something?
about round 21, I'd say. So 22.
I think, obviously it depends on what sort of nick he comes back in, right? If he comes back and sort of in 3 or 4 games, 3 games starts to regain the form that he's had, I don't think it's a big deal. But
Even if he comes back before the finals, right? Like,
Yeah, I don't
if he
think
comes
that's
back
the
with
end
a
of the
few
world.
games to sort of like hit his straps.
I don't think that's the end of the
If
world.
he's out for the season, it's fucked.
I think about Glenn Stewart in 2011, Tom.
He just came back for the final
Came back and won the Clive.
He won the Clive.
We got there.
So
Yeah. That grubber to Michael Robinson
That's
down the
right.
fucking sideline, down the fucking thing, and then back into Cherry.
So what I'm saying is, if Glenn set the standard in terms of comebacks, if he can match the standard set by Glenn, then I think Penrith are absolutely fine.
Yeah.
What would be concerning is if he's out for the season, then I think you may as well just give it to the Storm. You may as well just give it to him.
Or Manly.
But that's a great point. It's a great point. But I don't think the Panthers can win without him.
No, I don't. No way. There's just no. I mean, there is a way, obviously. Okay, so let's say you're CEO of Penrith. There's a risk that he could injure it more.
Give me some numbers. I need numbers.
Okay, there's a 50. There's a.
So you've had the injury though, right? What's the risk? Is it like if you were to play with it? Is it like going to fuck you for your career?
Well, the more it rips out, the more it damages the socket. The more it damages like.
But is it like can you recover? Does it just extend the recovery process, or is it like this could be like long term Sam Burgess retire sort of damage?
The reason he had so much damage to it repeatedly.
Yeah.
It's your body. Eventually, the more it rips out of its socket, the more things that could go wrong. Yeah. You know what I mean? So
the more regularly it probably comes out, right?
Yeah. So
and a Rico would be season.
A Rico would absolutely be season. You're looking at like nearly 4 months or something like that. It's season. So let's say you're the CEO of the club, and it's a 30% chance that it could damage it more. Do you go, fuck, let's put the club's next 10 years, I'm not saying that it will ruin the next 10 years, but you don't want complications with a player like that. What are you doing? Are you saying, you know what, get the Rico, let's go? Or are you saying, let's try and win a premiership?
I think that side can win. Sorry to cut you off, Tom.
No,
I think that side can win a premiership. If it's not this year, they can win one next year, right?
Yep.
Or maybe even the year after, but definitely they can win one next year.
And they've got Burton this year as well, so that helps.
So the premiership window isn't closed at the end of the year. So you'd need to fucking toss it up. If it's 50-50, you probably got to fucking give him the surgery, don't you?
Yeah. I don't think you risk, again, because he's such a prestigious talent, right? Like he's, the way that he's being spoken about in terms of how young he is and what he's doing, I don't know if it's worth risking a fucking long term. Or like, remember when Benji was young and he just kept getting fucking shoulder injury. That's the thing. You don't want to I don't know what the stats are and the facts are, but you're right though. Like you keep him out there and he keeps fucking it, and then something else. You know what I mean? Yeah. And it just something else happens. Like there's nothing worse than seeing a great player continually go down injured.
Well, we know it. We know it. We know it all too well. It's fucking awful. Every little, touch wood and. Rub wood, suck on wood that he is good to go now. But like when he was going through that period of like constantly breaking down, you start to go, well, fuck me, Dad. Like, we got to get rid of this bloke here. We're paying $1 million a year and he can't even get on the field.
What?
But it crosses your mind in dark times. Of course it does. I will always stand by him. He knows that.
He's got your hamstring.
I'll fucking carry him wherever he needs to go. But it does cross your mind for a brief moment. And if they fucking put him back out there, and it fucks the next 10 years, like they'll regret it.
Mismanagement of a player's injury to like the detriment of the player is far worse than like just taking it safe and trying to get him back, right? Like if they just go, fuck it, play, fuck his shoulder, he's fucked. Whether it's that he, retires or something, but like just these long, like continuous injuries, that's way worse.
Well, think of like Tommy, like let's say they took the same processes they do now for him. Let's say they did that from the start, how much footy he would have played. I'm not saying it's their fault. I'm just saying like it took a few injuries, I assume, for them to go, oh, fuck, we need to really pour resources into this guy.
Get Eddie on the phone, get his hammies out.
So, mate, it is a tough one. I think he probably plays the season out.
Yeah. Do you think that, is it not as bad as maybe we're just hearing? Is it?
I don't know. They've still got to get advice from the surgeon. I just think that he's so important. They probably needle him up. They've, I think that they probably, because it's his shoulder and he's young, he can probably recover really well. That we don't even know if he needs a surgery yet. But I think they probably still play him just because, like, it is a premiership window, and I know what you're saying is it's not closing soon, but they lose Kurt Capewell, they lose Matty Burton. You know what I mean? Like, they are primed to go for a premiership.
Oh, fuck yeah. Well, they're
and the way
they lose something next year.
The way
next year they'll be weaker than they are this year.
The way he's playing though as well is like the way he's playing is like he's become a big game player. Whereas last year it seemed like maybe he shit himself.
I think if he comes back and he's ripping and a tearing again in 6 weeks' time, I think they fucking go real close to winning. And you got to think about that. That's worth considering.
Winning prems is what we're all about. Okay, so this is from the NRL physio, who's fucking fantastic. After scan results weren't the best, Nathan Cleary will see a specialist in the next day or two to determine appropriate treatment options for his shoulder. Indicates likely structural damage, surgery possible, but often see players delay until post-season. Usually will result in physio strengthening rehab in an effort to increase stability in the shoulder joint. Return to play commonly 3 to 6 weeks. Not 100% success rate though, with an increased risk of further subluxation, dislocation on return. Need to balance risk versus reward. So it is a crazy few hours for,
for for the Panthers. What's crazy is like this is the thing that everyone has been talking about. They've been pretty lucky with injuries the last couple of years, right? Like, and now it's like not only are they unlucky, it's like the fucking most important player,
the main guy.
At the end of the day, I think he plays this season. I've just got a feeling he does.
I hope he does, but again, it just depends on like how bad the injury is.
I hope he is because I think like it's been so exciting to watch Penrith do what they're doing.
Yes.
It has added so much to rugby league. Like, could you imagine if it was just like Storm Roosters again?
Yeah.
Even though like it's incredible what the Storm do. Seeing the West just go, doing what they're doing.
Yeah, the video you put up where it's like in Penrith and they're all driving around. I love that 1-4 is basically on every single YouTube video. Every Instagram of like.
It's unbelievable.
Of
it's
just
so
the origin at the moment.
I'm loving it.
Mad.
I'm absolutely
like
loving
the yarn that we can deliver. This like music group that has brought rap back or introduced drill. Is deeply connected to our Origin players. And then you've got like Addo Carr, who's deeply connected to Hooligan Hefts, like going on boats with him, partying with him and that. And then it's just sick. It's so good.
It is cool. So I just had one question for you, unless you were going to go on to it, but it was just back to Origin and it was with Jerome Luai.
Yes.
He didn't skip a beat coming in, right? Like where, he was fantastic. And then when I think I just saw a couple of people who might have been on like the 100% footy or something where they're picking their Australian side.
Yes.
Or if you, in fact, I think that he even might want to play for Samoa or something. But if you're picking the Australian side based on the Origin teams, I think that based on the performance in Origin, whilst Cam Munster is like, he's been there, done that, killed it, like Jerome Luai outplayed him like comfortably with that, and this isn't some like anti-Queensland sort of bullshit, but like, if they were picking the Australian side now, would you still have Munster at 6, or do you see, for all the same reasons you sort of talk about with like picking Penrith players and shit, like would you go with Luai or not?
No, I think, it's if you just pick the best form players every time, you'd never be able to build any core of players. So like and I understand, the argument against that would be like, well, Jerome is, with Cleary and therefore like they are building something together. But then you have to take that same mindset and pick the best centre that's playing, the best front rower, and it's really hard to build something. Whereas like I think a guy like Munster and Cleary, especially because Jerome would choose Samoa if he had to.
Yeah.
I think you want to start building Munster and Cleary up, and I actually would put Jerome at 14.
Right.
And because he can be a good 14, he's done it for the Penrith. But also, we have to remember everything Munster's done. He hasn't had the best Origin this series, but fuck me, he's done some. He's had better performances at rep footy than Jerome has. He's had better club performances than Jerome has. Jerome has been incredible, but Munster is a 2-time premiership winning, 3-time Origin. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, he's a fucking beast.
He's a weapon, bro. He's a weapon.
Like he won that Origin series last year basically on his own.
Literally.
Hung. After a prem, ripping and tearing. So,
yeah.
I know what you're saying, but I definitely have Cleary and Munster.
Yeah,
100%.
I think so. Okay.
Munster's the only Queensland player that you currently have.
And Papali'i, I reckon.
That properly frightens me, where I'm like, whoa, fucking watch out for that cunt. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, because
everyone else, I'm like, nah.
Okay. Now on to the Broncos. Now the Broncos, Kevin Walters has come out and said Tavita Pangai Jr. and Matt Lodge are no longer leaving the club this year.
This is
bit of stability, shoring things up.
This is one of the fucking what pissed me off most about this is when a player wants to go to another club for fucking, like an opportunity or like a bit more money or whatever, and the line in the media is loyalty and this, and like contracts don't mean shit, and it's like
loyalty's dead. It's like, bruh, loyalty's been dead for fucking 30 years.
But these two players can be told mid-season that potentially they can go. Like, you can leave now, but then out of nowhere, you're not going anywhere. It's like, what are you doing to me?
Not even potentially publicly told you look elsewhere.
Yeah.
Like, so if
because you're shit. That's the message.
That's what they're telling those players. If the club is publicly saying it, that means for 6 months they've been trying to move Matt Lodge on for like a year.
Yeah.
Tavita, they've clearly been trying to move him on for a bit, and then to come out and just backflip, it's just like, now you can understand. Like, obviously, you never want players leaking to the journo that there's a player revolt. I don't agree with that one bit. And if you are, you want to put your face to it. I think that you've got to be upfront about the way you handle it. But clearly there is a communication issue, because Matt Lodge did come out and say 1 week they told me they don't want me, and next week, they want me.
Really?
Yeah, he came out and said
they're that bipolar in like
Well,
what
you've
they're
seen it.
fucking.
You've seen it.
I know, but like I feel like I guess giving the Broncos a benefit of the doubt. Why I would do that, I don't know. I just sort of thought maybe like their initial move was, look, we got to move these players on for salary cap, and then they've gone, you know what? Actually, it doesn't work. Like one change of mind, which is still ridiculous. But to have like week after week going, you're in, you're out, you're in, you're out.
I read it as though like fucking stability. Let's do it at the end of the season.
If that's the case, why did you come out publicly and fucking
Poor old Tavita had to after the game. Thurston's going, so like they don't want you.
Yeah,
He's
you're
like,
gone. Will you be at the club in 3 weeks?
Nah, yeah, I know. Yeah, it's a bit much. Like, so what are you going to do? He's like, fucking, I don't know what I'm going to do. Like,
what I'm not getting is like, because it's clearly, again, I got no evidence for it, but Ben Eichen has clearly come in and gone, hang on a sec, what's going on here? We can't, because
the timing would suggest something like that.
Something's happened like that. So I feel like they've realised, guys, if we move them on, that fucks our cap even worse because we still have to pay him. We're paying for McCulloch. We're paying for Bird. If we move Tavita on and Matt Lodge on, we're going to pay half their contract as well.
So what dumbass is running the cap?
Well, look, you know.
Well, he just got moved. The football
Probably
manager.
the same bloke that moved fucking Reece Walsh on.
Yeah. That's a great point. I didn't even think about that, but you're right. Like, you move on Lodge and Tavita. But also, though, like, they're also good players. Like, they're in and out of form, but, like, they're good. They are going to go and rip for another club, you would think.
Well, I just think that, like, we've made our bed. Let them know they can look elsewhere, but don't go public with it. But push them towards that. If a good deal comes along, sweet. But also, if you do it in a good manner that doesn't put them offside, you can still work with them. Do you know what I mean?
There's still juice in that fruit, baby.
Mate, there's plenty of juice.
Plenty of juice. You just got to know how to squeeze that fucking lemon, mate.
There's not been much.
What'd you make of Gordy coming out basically threatening to bash people that fucking that talk shit?
Talk shit, get hit, bro. Like, whoa.
Mate, that was the biggest fucking public offering up of talk shit, get hit I've ever seen. I was like, holy fuck.
It was the most dramatic footy clip I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Like, I've never seen something like that happen where a bloke has literally been like, if you do this, I will ruin your career.
That was probably he goes, I'll end your career. Like, you won't play anywhere else. I'm like, wow, that is terrifying.
Did you take that as like he would remove their fucking kneecaps and then hard to play without kneecaps? Did you take it that way?
I took it as like as a Stuart McGill-esque. You go to take the bins out, you don't come back inside. Gordy slides past you with a fucking a van. Door opens, you're in, you're gone.
Yeah.
Gordy's and then you're doing a fucking 60-minute.
Except unlike Stuart, you don't come back.
No, you don't.
It was shocking. Like, you know, I totally understand where he's coming from. You know, like, if you're going to do it, because he did say it, Matt Lodge, respect to Matt Lodge, he said it and he put his name to it. So, like, I understand where Gordy's coming from in the sense that if you're going to do that, you should be the one that's saying, like, you know, this is what's happening.
Do we know who's been saying it?
I've got no idea. You'd assume it's the players that are out of favour. You'd assume, but I've got no clue. It's the real problem here is the fact that we're all talking about this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And then, you know, a week later, they're now not going. This is how crazy it is. Like, this whole drama comes out. We've got a club legend literally kidnapping blokes. Then the next week, those, you know, they're still at the club and they'll go anywhere. So dramatic times.
Yeah, they've called off the hit as Gordy pulls up out the side of the house and like Kevy's gone, no, call it off.
That's exactly that's what's happened.
That's it. Gordy's there. I'm like, I'm ready to do it. I'm ready to do it. No, call it off, Gordy. Go home.
I've got the shoddy ready to go.
Shoddy, shovel, bag of lime.
Yeah, piece of piss, mate.
The QRL chairman, Bruce Hatcher, wants the NRL to relocate a club to Brisbane and mentioned Cronulla. What are your thoughts about Cronulla moving to Brisbane?
Get rid of it.
No, I would say no.
Get rid of it.
Now, what I heard, and I buy into this rhetoric, I don't know where I read it, but it was basically like the NRL commissioned a study. This could all be bullshit, but this is what I read. They commissioned a study that basically said if you move a team, the fans in that area, they
just stop watching.
They don't go to another club. Like, you know,
Sydney
the Bear fans who fucking, probably the saddest supporters of all time.
Yeah, they are.
Still maintain that they're going to be back in the NRL.
And like 3 times a year they're in the paper.
But
it's
you're
like,
not.
The Bears put forward a consortium.
A new consortium, and they've bought a new sign and they hang it off the fucking some bridge and think they're back in. Like,
let us back in. They've written it on like a bed sheet.
Yeah.
That's the consortium.
We've got a brand new washing machine.
There's always a consortium of fucking old Bears fan losers that are trying to get it off the ground. No offense, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
With all due respect.
With all due respect, but using that logic, you can't cede ground because I reckon the AFL will go, fucking righto, boys. Like, let's, you know what I mean?
You
like,
can't
there's
see
no...
ground.
Sydney is the heartland, the foundation of the game of rugby league. You can't start fucking pissing that off. I think that is fucking madness.
I agree.
Complete madness.
Fuck them. Send them.
You're a dog.
The only thing I would do is I would move West Tigers from Balmain, who have given up on rugby league. I'd move them out to Narellan permanently, out to Camden, call them the Western Suburbs Magpies, and just fuck Balmain off. That's what I'd do.
Yeah.
Look, that might ruffle feathers, but look at the state of that leagues club on Victoria Road. You obviously don't care anymore.
No, it's like smash windows, tags, and
Leichhardt, you can throw a game to Leichhardt every now and then just for like old time's sake, but you know.
Could you imagine...
Get out to the growth areas, mate. Narellan, Camden, pumping.
Could you imagine a documentary where they told the truth of what had happened in the Tigers club? It would be riveting stuff.
Oh, yeah, that'd be good stuff.
Mate, like, I don't know how the Western Suburbs, like, faction put up with it. All the money, all the juniors, they must be going, what are you fuckers doing? Like, all the shit decisions, apparently, allegedly, come from the Balmain side. Look, prove me wrong.
It would be interesting, though.
By opening up. You know? Prove me wrong by opening up.
But it would be, you know what I mean? It would be interesting to hear, like, because it has just been, you know, to think it is the heartland of rugby league, essentially, and they have only made 3 finals since 2000 or something like that.
But to finish on that, if I'm the NRL, I'm pumping fucking money into junior pathways so we get more players, better players, and you can support 17, 18 teams.
But we can't support another team now.
You don't think we have enough
the
talent?
score lines fucking suggest that another team is just going to get mauled.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be moving anyone, though.
I wouldn't be moving anyone. The tough thing is if you don't expand, you die, kind of thing. You know what I mean? If you're not fucking...
To a degree,
but I don't think you can lose Sydney.
But don't you... No, we're not even talking about that, just in general. But don't you need... You can... But it's... You die also if you don't expand, like, responsibly.
Oh, yeah, I agree. It's such a... I don't know what the answer is. You know, do we have the talent, or is it coaching? Is it backroom stuff? I don't know.
What do you honestly believe... What do you think, though? Like, because people like Joey Johns are like, fucking cut the teams down. He thinks that that talent's already spread too thin. What do you think? I think that would be
like to
No, but I mean, I'm just using that as an example of how he sees the state of the game from a talent perspective.
Look, I think I agree with the fact that it does feel like we don't have the talent and resource, and that's just not on the field. I think, like, office-wise, we don't have the talent, like recruitment. Like, for example, how a club like the Broncos is in the position it is in, it should be impossible. When you think of the fact that I think in 2015 when they made the finals, they made like a $30 million profit or something. It was crazy. So it's not even about resources. There must just not be enough talent around when it comes to recruitment, development, everything like that. It should be
business now
impossible for the Broncos to be where they are.
And yet you're going for back-to-back spoons, and you know the good money, the honest money's on you for back-to-back.
Yeah.
Well, and that's what I mean. So like, that what is interesting is that not only I don't think is there enough talent on the field right now because there's not enough talent. How many times are you going to drop it?
I don't know, dude. I don't know.
You can put it on the table if you want.
I had them on the table. I don't know how I don't even know how they got there.
Are you nervous, mate? You're fiddling.
Yeah.
I'm fucking terrified.
Like, it's been raining all day and you're inside. Why do you need sunglasses?
They're not on.
But why do you need them?
Well, I wore them in the car.
But it's raining.
No, it was sunny when I drove. Plus, I am a sunglasses wearer just anytime I'm outside.
Why? Like, is that because you're hiding things or?
Usually because I'm...
It looks good.
Yeah, I think it's,
Oh, it's a fashion statement.
I mean, you tell me.
Tell him, Denon. Go on, tell him.
You know what? Now that you put them on, I understand why you carry sunglasses that ruin shows.
Thank you so much.
I just think from a footy standard point of view, expansion isn't a good idea. But from a business point of view and the fact that we are fighting with AFL so much, we kind of need to continue to try to grow. But I don't know. I don't have the answers. What do you think? Should we expand?
No, I don't think we do. Not yet. I used to think it was cool. I used to be like, fuck yeah, that's fun. Another team, Firehawks, cool name. But
do you like the Firehawks name?
No, the only reason, no.
That doesn't sound like a rugby league name to me.
The reason why we did like it because it's a native bird to Australia. That was
There's a cool story.
It's the only known animal, I think, do your own research, but it certainly is one. I think it's the only known animal to cultivate fire. So basically what these animals would do was when there's a bushfire on, they would pick up fucking embers and fly it and set fires to scare out like mice and shit. And then when the animals run out, they eat them.
And you think the average punter gives a fuck about that?
Well, I certainly think it's tough if you got to explain it like I had to every time you go to Firehawk. I think a punter and a dribbler does something, said they should call them the Brisbane Brown Snakes after the river. Brown snakes are fucking...
Brown snakes are motherfuckers.
Brown snakes are
motherfuckers.
People are scared shitless of brown snakes.
You sponsor them?
Look, I'm not denying.
Brown snakes is a fucking sick name. Brisbane.
The Brisbane Brown Snakes. The snakes.
The snakes, but isn't that kind of like dog? Oh, the Bulldogs are dog. Yeah, okay.
What?
Well, like a snake is like a dog, like in this fact that like you're a snake, you betrayed me.
No, well, let's take back. Let's take back.
Fuck me, right? How many clubs have you started that have been great? Fucking hell, you're a club expert.
No, I'm just saying. Look, we can't look into it that much.
No, let's take back.
Can't look into that much. You just told me a fucking whole Roman Greek myth about a fire
it's not a myth.
bird.
That's a real thing these birds do.
He's just defending the Firehawks name, which I get, but I'm saying brown snakes is a sick fucking name.
Look, I'm open to it. I just don't know about it. I don't mind the Bombers, even though it sounds AFL-y to me.
From the AFL.
That is so lame. That is a direct rip.
I feel like you're aggressively attacking anything I say.
Well, I'm just saying it's a rip. Like, you don't have to fucking name a team after the Essendon Bombers.
I said I don't mind it. I didn't say I was fully committed to it.
You think that's better than the brown snakes?
Which also
sounding wise, like brown snakes, it just doesn't have that
the
big
Brisbane brown
name.
snakes. Poisonous.
You could have the cheerleaders. It's like in dodgeball.
Exactly. The whole crowd every time there's like someone goes in for a truck.
I take everything back. I take it back. That would actually work.
Brisbane brown snakes.
Fucking oath it'd
work. The
work.
players to run out going.
Like the whole crowd. Like, fuck that Viking clap thing off. This would be the new thing.
You know what? I'm fucking on board.
Yeah, thought so.
And we'll get you front of jersey sponsor.
Yep.
I can ask you a question. If you had Bloke on the front jersey sponsor and then like the club got into some sort of like player turmoil, would you bail like all the sponsors or you just stick solid?
No,
obviously it depends what you do.
As long as it's not like hurt, you know what I mean?
As long as it's not like blatantly like wildly illegal.
Wildly wrong hurting people.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck.
Stick solid.
There was this funny photo of when Latrell was walking out of the cop station when he got done for the guns.
Oh, yeah.
Wearing a Bloke shirt in the paper. And I was like, that's kind of cool.
That is cool.
That's fantastic.
Okay, so we're going the Brisbane Brown Snakes.
Yep.
I came around. Honestly, your tactics, if this was an actual negotiation table, I don't know.
Look, Tom and I are the masters of negotiations.
Yeah, we are.
So you went.
We've broken many a deal.
Yeah.
Okay. So you went the really hard insult, treat someone poorly that...
Well, it's like you're saying good cop, bad cop. We just go bad cop.
Yeah.
We just abuse you.
You're a fucking loser. You don't know what you're talking about. Howard is the best. And then you go, holy shit, I am a loser.
I love the brown snakes.
Yeah. I think that was in 50 Rules of Power.
Yeah,
that's right.
That's how you do it.
So brown snakes are in. And then obviously I think you bring in a South Island team from New Zealand, get a bit of rivalry going there. Thanks for coming, 18 teams. Beautiful.
Yep. Okay. You know what team I would love if they had the funding is a PNG team.
Yeah,
100%.
Because they love they could honestly fill out 30,000 stadium every game.
It's literally their religion.
Yeah,
it's the national sport. Is there? I know that they were trying to move in that direction by introducing them to the Queensland Cup.
Oh, they won the
Hunters.
No, I know, but I'm saying, how's that going?
Yeah, I think it's going okay. But like, I actually think that if you introduce them, that if they went well or bad, it wouldn't matter because people would just be so behind the fact. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it wouldn't be as drastic as a second Brisbane team or whatever. And if the Brisbane team turns out to fucking suck, like, look, the Titans are okay now, but for many, like, they were close to a lot of people. Like, man, they shouldn't even be in the comp.
Yeah,
not like performance wise, but like they got no fans. And so the worry is you don't want another Titans. The NRL had to buy them, I think.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah,
so, again, you don't want to get another team that's got like a sort of a disinterested fan base where you know no matter what with the PNG team they're going to fucking
love it.
I think the Gold Coast is a fucking money pit for both the AFL and the NRL.
Yeah,
but they don't want to again cede ground. They're like, no, stay strong.
Yeah, it's the Bermuda Triangle of sports teams. The A-League team was there for like 15 minutes.
Who were called?
I think they registered
Crocodiles.
They registered.
You know the A-League Grand Finals on Sunday?
What?
Do you know that?
It was on before Origin. We were like, what?
It was on before Origin.
They put it on the same day.
Same day as Origin.
Oh my God.
And you want to talk about like a dearth of sports administrators, then fucking look to the A-League.
We could hire a few.
Because that was in the calendar, I'm assuming, 12 months ago.
Do you think that
the Origin 2 would have been that date? You know what I mean?
Do you think that they thought we could be the opener for Origin?
That's exactly what I was saying.
The curtain raiser.
The lead-in. Yeah, it's like I was like, no, dude. People are going to watch an hour of Origin preamble on Fox.
I was
or
like,
fucking
you know
Channel
what
9.
I'm going to do when the A-League Grand Final's on? I'm going to cook dinner. So then I can watch the hour lead-in preamble.
Wouldn't you change it? You know what I mean? Like, wouldn't you even if
Saturday was free.
That's what I'm saying. And
Saturday was free.
And there was no footy on.
Exactly.
Oh my god,
dude.
They're off their head. Is that one of the worst decisions in the history of sporting administration?
Mate,
It'd have
it's
to go
fucking
close.
right up there.
It'd have to go close.
Like, they must have honestly thought, you know what? People are going to be sitting down, having dinner, thinking, you know, I'll flick the A-League on, then I'll watch the footy.
a big carnival atmosphere for your Sunday. Everyone's going to be at home watching.
How much good sports on Sunday?
Yeah.
No one fucking knew.
That, you know what they thought it was going to be? It's like, oh, you know what? I watched the UFC at the start of the day, and then I watched the NRL Grand Final on Sunday. That's what they thought was going to be.
It just did not happen.
I didn't know who won, honestly. I'm not being facetious or anything.
Melbourne City won. I think it was 3-1 against Sydney FC. Like, that's the other thing. Sydney FC were in it, and I found out about it the fucking next day when it was over.
I found out about it on the podcast. You go, you know, the A-League Grand Finals, and I'm like, excuse me?
This is the same city of Sydney where there was no rugby league all weekend,
and people
except for
literally-
Origin, and no one knew about it.
And literally, people were posting saying, "Fuck, there's no sport on."
People like all my groups
Gagging
were
for
going,
sport.
"Holy fuck, I'm gonna have to watch the AFL." Like, there's nothing on, literally nothing on.
And then the A-League were like, you know what? Genius plan.
Genius.
Curtain raiser for Origin. We get all the bums on seats that are already waiting for Origin. They'd way rather watch A-League than listen to Gus Gould preamble.
Yeah, sure.
And let's do nothing to promote it. Let's just hope they fucking stumble across
Well,
it.
what's more powerful? What's the most powerful marketing tool there is?
Word of mouth.
Word of mouth. We'll get the people. We'll get the tongues wagging.
You know what? That's why they committed to it 6 months ago, because they thought they'd begin the Chinese whispers 6 months ago.
Yeah, build.
And then by the time it hit Sunday, fever pitch, word of mouth.
Absolutely.
Yeah, the way it was playing out in the boardroom was, "Oi, man, like, there's no footy on this weekend. At least the A-League's on." Like, that'll sell.
Yeah, that'll do it.
That'll do
What do you
it.
reckon their marketing budget is?
Look, I don't know if it's too much. I think it's probably what. Like
I think they call up like Facebook and Google and shit. Go, "Please give us some free ads." And they're like, "Fuck off, A-League! Stop asking. Stop calling me." Probably on MySpace, some fucking brokered some deal with
MSN
MySpace.
Messenger.
Yeah.
You're on MSN Messenger.
Yeah.
get a free ticket.
Okay, so so Brisbane Brown Snakes. Now, okay, so New South Wales Deputy Premier, despite the growing list in COVID-19, the greatest in Greater Sydney, we will not be giving up our right to host the State of Origin Decider. I've spoken with Peter Vlandis and indicated we could host the game in Newcastle if the health advice recommends it not be held in Sydney.
Love it. Absolutely love it.
Yep.
Absolutely. I can't tell you how much I love that. The proud people of the Hunter deserve an Origin game.
Do you get a float with Joey in it?
Yeah,
Cleary next
I
to him?
think so.
Cleary's not
Well,
gonna be playing?
Tom and I always talk about this, and I think it's worth repeating here, Denon. The fact that there isn't a statue of the great Joey Johns out the front of the stadium
Disgrace.
is a fucking disgrace. I think if I'm John Barilaro, I'd be saying, we'll give you the game, or Vlandis at least, we'll give you the game if you put a statue up of Joey.
We need a big
Mate,
Joey.
Like, you need to right wrongs first. We want a big Joey.
We want a big Joey, not just like a fucking, here's a life-size statue. Like, there's the big fucking prawn, the big merino. You need the big Joey right outside the stadium.
Yes.
Bigger than the stadium.
And you know what?
higher.
Yeah,
So you can
higher.
see his head.
Exactly. You want to see him looking over
Mate,
the ground.
And you know what would be poetic beauty? You get Cleary's chin to chisel a bit of it.
That's a beautiful thing. He
Hits it
breaks
once.
ground.
He
Just
gets
He
hit him on
breaks
there.
ground. He breaks ground.
He breaks
his chin.
ground on the big Joey with his chin.
Oh my! That would bring a tear to. If you saw Cleary break ground with his chin,
Yeah.
So Joey's holding him like a shovel, breaking ground for his own statue with Cleary's chin.
mate, that would be one of the greatest rugby league moments in the history of the game.
And because it's a big Joey and his head's like literally above the stadium, that's actually the private Joey box. And
You watch from his eyes.
Joey does.
Yeah.
Everyone else can't.
Yeah,
But
well, you're not allowed.
Like the mouth, he sits in the mouth and that's his box. What do you think?
I love that. That's
Oh,
beautiful.
mate, that would be a beautiful
It'd be a
moment.
flex being like, where are you watching the footy? I'm in the Joey
I'm in
box.
the Joey box. I'm in Joey's eyes.
Could you imagine the photo op of him holding
Well,
Cleary?
what's crazy is that would eventually become a statue in and of itself. Joey using Cleary to dig out a fucking
Would
big
be,
Joey.
yeah.
That would then become a
Well,
statue.
that would be the statue of Cleary when he's sitting there. But at the time it got used as a fucking shovel by Joey. At the front of Penrith Stadium.
It would be so beautiful. You can't write that, honestly.
No.
That's that would be a beautiful, I guess, dedication to the beauty that is Joey up in and
it's a beauty.
Well, it's almost like
to
the handing
Joey
of the-
to rugby league. You're right, passing
The
from
handing of
one
the
grade
shovel.
to the next one.
Yes.
I don't think there's any good reason not to do it. But the big Joey and essential, I think, if they're going to have an origin out at Newcastle.
I'd be making it mandatory, Tom.
Yep.
I'd be making it
honestly,
mandatory.
in all seriousness though, the fact that there isn't a statue of Joey
It's fucking insane.
is absolute utter insanity. Like he is the one guy in the whole game that you'd probably say gets the fucking statue first in New
No
South Wales.
disrespect to Cam
The greatest
Smith or Billy Slater.
footballer.
There's
Yeah.
already statues of those two fuckers down in Melbourne.
Mate.
Cam and Bill, should be Cooper as well, actually. But like, why the hell is Joey? What's Joey got to do to get a fucking statue?
Yeah, what does he have to do?
Is being the greatest footballer of all time not enough? Seemingly not.
And he won them the premiership. The last prem they won
He won it.
He won them both for them.
was with Joey. Is that the only two they've won as well?
He's won
Yes.
their only two.
And he hasn't got a mate.
Fucking disgrace.
Is there a
It's a fucking.
petition?
It's a
tell
fucking.
you
Oh,
what-
yeah,
disgrace.
no, wait, even worse than that, Cessnock haven't got one either. Last time I was in Cessnock, I'm like, what the fuck is going on in this town? If you put in a big Joey, you know, Newcastle fucking passes up that great opportunity, that would bring the punter and the dribbler to Cessnock in their
Mate,
droves.
The local economy
Mate,
thriving.
booming.
Thrive. And the Instagram ability of that.
Exactly.
Um,
Like Joey put Cessnock on his shoulders. It's now time for Cessnock to give back.
I mean, honestly, please tell us if there is a petition to sign to get Joey a fucking statue, even as a Queenslander. Maybe I'm feeling it with all the blue on me.
Yeah.
But I'm feeling it.
No,
Yeah.
no, because you know what's right and what's wrong. You're a good person fundamentally. The fact that Joey hasn't got a fucking statue is a fucking disgrace.
There's a Facebook page, the Andrew John statue petition.
Let's get a petition going.
Well, let's go.
how many
It's already got 5,000 people.
We need more than
we need that.
5,000
We
to
need more than
fucking
that.
disgrace.
All right.
Someone fucking
It should
start a
be
petition.
what's the population of fucking New South Wales? Should be whatever that is.
You know what? Let's start a
start one.
petition.
Let's start one.
Maddie, create the petition.
The big
We
Joey.
can best that fucking thing.
The big Joey, Newcastle Stadium.
If not, Cessnock.
And if-
one of the two.
No, it's got to be out the fucking
Gotta be
stadium.
Newey. He
It's
won
gotta
a
be
prem.
But
McDonald
I'm saying if
Jones.
those motherfuckers don't know.
No, the petition has
aim-
got to
let's
be.
aim
We got to
high.
aim. You got to
Gotta aim
go.
high.
McDonald Jones, get a fucking big Joey.
But add into the petition using Cleary as a shovel.
yes.
And also add into it, it needs to be higher than the stadium. Like you need to be able. His eye line has to go over the stadium at any point.
Yeah.
And please, everyone that's watching this, go and sign the petition. Give Joey what he deserves.
Yeah. This is fucking bullshit.
If you're a fan of Joey's, and if you're a fan of rugby, league, if you're watching this, you're a fan of Joey's, then go sign the petition.
If you're a fucking fair fucking bloke.
Yeah.
Or Sheila. You
Blokes
know
or
it's
Sheilas.
right. Do the right thing. Sign the petition. And also, hopefully, Cleary gets on board. We'll have to speak to him.
Obviously, we'll have to talk.
Are you telling me you wouldn't?
He's got a
I think
sore
he would.
shoulder. I think he would.
I mean, he's origin. Of course, he's got the blood now.
Yeah.
He's got the fucking three.
Not to mention all the fucking, long winter days that Joey spent trying to refine his game for him.
Yes,
you
true.
know what I mean?
That's true. He owes it to Joey.
He does owe it to Joey.
Look,
And his chin's as strong as fuck.
It'd be beautiful.
They
Okay.
might end up using Cleary bone for shovels moving forward, depending on how well it goes
They could model shovels on his
on his jaw shape.
jaw shape.
What Cleary tip shovels?
You just
Get
get
a
a bit of the
diamond tip,
bone.
Cleary
There's a,
tip.
yeah, there's a market
Yeah,
there.
you just get a bit of his bone in there and put it at the tip of the shovel. Who the fuck knows?
You wouldn't even need to have a tagline because everyone would know that's a fucking strong shovel. It's
Yeah.
going to get the job done.
Oh, that's a
Well,
Cleary.
mate, fuck, I wouldn't dig without a Cleary tip. No fucking way.
Nah.
The first thing you'd ask is Cleary tip. Nah, well,
Mate,
fucking, I'm not digging.
If I rock up to a job site and it doesn't have Cleary tips there,
Yeah, I'm fucking
fucking out of there.
Mate,
You
I'm
can go
out.
and get fucked. I'm
I'm
not
out.
digging shit.
All right, now on to the onto the preview. Roosters v the Storm. Sam Walker returns. 2
Is he
weeks
back?
rest. Yeah, Tedesco and Crichton are set to play. Welch to play. Grant's still out. I think you're going to find this is going to be a very stop-start year for Grant. I even think that you're going to see a longer rest period in hopes that they get him ready for a finals run because they're going to be in the fucking finals.
Yeah.
So I believe you're not going to see Grant for at least probably 4 or 5 weeks.
And what's he done at hammy?
He's done his hammy, and I think he's had issues with a hammy before.
Right.
But also, the Cheese is the form hooker in the comp right
Yeah,
now.
Cheese killing it.
Killing it.
But is he leaving Cheese?
He's staying this year.
Right. But but next year he's gone?
Oh, it's not set in stone yet. I actually think the Storm are going to try and find a way
To fit them both in, eh?
That duo, and also, even though Harry Grant could go on to be the best hooker we've seen in a very long time, it's not a foregone conclusion that that Cheese isn't just as good.
Yeah, that's because that kind of was the yarn, right?
Yeah.
Like Harry Grant was going to be the...
Seriously.
But he's killing it, dude.
And because he's been able to drop weight and be a hooker's weight rather than have to be a lock's weight, which is like 5-6 kilos heavier. Now, a lot of people don't realise how much that changes your cardio. You put 5-6 kilos on of muscle, it is way harder to get around the field than it is with much your normal body weight, what your body is built for. So I don't even think it's a foregone conclusion that Grant will be the number one hooker long term there. Now, don't get me wrong, like it most likely is going to be the best hooker we've seen in a long time, but the Cheese is killing it, killing it. So I think they're going to give Cheese a real good crack. I think at every game that Cheese plays as the hooker, it's just going to drive his value up.
Yeah,
absolutely drive his value up. Now, Sam Walker returns for after 2 weeks rest. Now, would you, if you're Queensland, would you consider Game 3, Game 1 for 2022, and would you start or bring Sam Walker into the squad for Queensland?
I mean, do you want to blood a young fucking kid who's like having fun with rugby league at the moment and just go, oh, yeah, looks like you're really enjoying your rugby league. Do you want to have like the worst night of your life? Come play for Queensland.
How do you feel about having your spirit broken? Is that something you'd be into, mate? Fucking hell, you've lost it. Oh, you Queenslanders.
It's just breaking the spirit of their up and comers. Wait, Reece, you want to go play? Reece like, wait, what? Not now.
Is that your new thing? Just breaking spirit?
Wait, Sam, we got an idea. You want to come off the bench? What the fuck?
Yeah, we're trying to rebuild them in the Queensland spirit.
Why? Yeah, well...
What, you want to play me at 14? Why? I'm fucking 70 kilos dripping wet. I don't get it.
No, will you come on?
We'll bring you on. We'll put you on the edge. We'll play in the back row for a bit, maybe. Fine.
Put you in the middle, make a couple of tackles. Ponga did it. Ponga did it. What are you, a pussy? Come on.
Fucking hell, you on soft, cunt? And this new generation, soft. No, brilliant idea.
Break his spirit before he even gets in there. Exactly. Just fucking bag the fuck out of him and don't select him.
Well, no, bring him in. Do it.
Well, I think what I would do is I would bring him into the camp, but I wouldn't play him.
Yeah,
and
I don't
get
mind
DCE to fucking...
That's absolutely fine. But your original idea was
getting him on the field.
It wasn't an idea, it was a question.
Sounded like it was an idea.
Sounded like an idea you're trying to sell to us.
Fucking, you guys just know how to negotiate. I tell you what, I came to you with starting him, and all of a sudden I'm agreeing that he should just be in the squad.
Told you.
Master negotiators. Roosters v Storm. I think this is actually going to be a fucking great clash. Welch is going to be keen as anything to have a crack. The Roosters, they always fucking turn up. Tedesco and Crichton in great form. I actually think this is going to be the match of the round.
Agreed.
Yep. I think the Storm are going to do it comfortably. I think it'll
comfortably?
Probably... Well, the same way that the Panthers did it, where it was like the Roosters made it a bit of a game early against the Panthers, and then it was just like they went away with it.
I got troops back though.
The Storm are just fucking sick. The Storm are just fucking really good. Munster's out and they just still rip and tear.
They equaled the record for the most times 40 points has been scored in a season. 9 times.
Yeah.
And they're on track to score the most points in the history of the game in a season.
Why has this been played in Newcastle?
Because of COVID. So they've actually had to move back to Melbourne because the borders have shut for Queensland.
So who's this a home game for? Just because there's still games at Bank West and...
I think it would be... It's Roosters. It's supposed to be SCG.
So why have they moved that game but not... Or because there was just no grounds for it, I suppose. I'm just a little bit confused why they're playing games at Bank West.
Because remember how everyone at the Boyd Cordner press conference had to be tested because it was so prevalent in like Wallara and those...
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
Did they? I didn't know that.
That makes sense.
That's the first
they're
time.
moving... Because they... Yeah, okay. That makes sense.
Nice, man. It's the first time you've literally done your job. So
keep it up.
Going?
Keep it up. I'm going to go Storm just because they're so fucking ruthless, particularly away from home. They seem to grow an inch when they're away from home. I think they just grind out a W.
Grind a W?
Yeah, no, I've gone Storm 13 plus.
13 plus?
Yeah.
I don't know about 13 plus. I think 1 to 12.
I think Roosters are going to be... Tedesco and Crichton, they come back into the side. They're fucking keen as mustard.
See, but I wonder whether it's that they're their two best players and they're fucking off a 4-day turnaround or whatever it is, and they're a bit rusty. Tedesco maybe doesn't play. His hip pointer's fucking sore. They pull him out before the game. Like
it is Thursday night.
All they've got coming back is Welsh for the Storm. Munster. Was Munster been named or was Munster out?
Matt?
No, he's named.
Okay.
So like,
we didn't do anything though, so he'll be fine.
Well, that's true. He did nothing. He's fresh. Munster will be fresh and ready to rip. So yeah, I don't know. They get Munster back. And Welsh. It's like they're gonna. I just feel
I'm going to go Storm 1-12. Warriors v the Dragons. Townsend has been named to play. Watene Zelezniak named to play.
Crazy.
Dufty returns for the Dragons. Bird shifts from back row to centre. Sims, Hunt and McCulloch all named. Who do you think will win this match?
I have got a feeling the Dragons will win.
and that's
a vibe bet.
And that's a
Vibe
DMC bet though, dude. That's the problem.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but
Warriors are heavy favourites.
Are they?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. They're heavy favourites.
Well, they're like $1.65 or something.
Really?
It'll be interesting to see how Townsend, after being languishing in reserve grade for a couple of weeks, and now back to his metaphorical home.
$1.71, gone out of pinch, but still.
I can never bring myself to tip a dirty merger club, so it's going to be hard for me to do it again. The Dragons fucked me last round when I tipped the Raiders. Shame on me, but that was my own fault. So I'm going the Warriors. I'm going Chad and Dallin in a Bulldogs top. They couldn't Chad in a Sharks top. You couldn't change it with the fucking. You can Photoshop a dick literally in my mouth right now, and it would look real. And you can't get Chad and Dallin in fucking Warriors jerseys.
Well, it's lazy, Tom.
It's fucking lazy, and that's why I'm going Warriors.
I would have even rather them have a dick in their mouth.
Why not?
At least show they've attempted to do some kind of Photoshop.
And just going fuck it. We put dicks in their mouths.
That is so lazy.
That's disgraceful.
I could do. I'm out of 10. 10 being fucking elite at Photoshop, I'm like a 4, and I could do that in 3 seconds.
Yeah, you could do that.
3
easily.
seconds?
Seriously.
Fuck.
1, 2, 3, done. I don't have a computer at my beck and call, but if I did, it'd be done.
That is craziness.
It's quite impressive.
They've got a great side.
Adding back.
You know what I mean? Well, it's
in.
not great, but it's pretty fucking good, the Warriors side. But does Tarek come back ripping and tearing? Jack DeBell, a couple more games under the fucking sleeve,
Jack
mate.
Bird out.
Andrew McCulloch, fresh of an Origin, experience. I don't know.
But maybe him and Hunt demoralised.
Hunt,
you know?
I thought Hunt
was
went
good.
all right.
Hunt was great. I'm staying with the Drags.
Yeah, I'm going Dragons.
I'm staying with the Drags. I think you get value there.
Warriors, Adam Fanor Blake anytime.
Okay.
I wish I could quit him. I can't. You know what I mean? He's less manly, but I can't quit him.
Like a nice cigarette after a coffee. It's hard to get off the
it's habitual.
train. Yeah, it's habitual.
It's habitual. I'm a habitual Adam Fanor Blake dick rider. I've got to stop talking about cocks. I'm sorry.
Okay, so we got the Penrith versus the Eels. Now, this is going to be played behind closed doors. I'm actually going the Eels because they're Cleary-less. The Panthers are. Edwards is also out.
Yeah, that's true.
I think I'm going the Eels. I think they're going to be quite good.
I think Penrith win, but I think it'll be close. I just don't like Matt Burton is such a motherfucker.
He is a motherfucker.
And it'll be nice. Was he playing 6 or was May playing 6 when the Origin? He was playing 7, wasn't he?
No, he was playing 6. May was playing 7.
May was playing 7, right.
I just think with Luai there as well, you've still got Appy, Fisher, Hash, it's basically full strength except for Staines at fullback and Matt
Paulo
Burton.
playing fucking great footy.
He is playing good footy.
He could negate the Fisher Harris. You know what I mean? Like, not negate, but
Mate, I think it'll be tight. I think it'll be fucking tight.
I'm pretty sure that Para's record this year against this could be complete bullshit. But I think outside of the Storm, their record against top 4 teams is diabolical. So I'm going with Panthers.
Okay.
If Parramatta can win though, I'll start to take them a bit more seriously.
I won't.
Big game, you reckon?
Yeah.
Okay.
I reckon this could be a statement game for them.
Statement game.
If they can get it done.
If they can get it done. You know what I mean? Like, their performances against the big boys have been
lacking.
Indifferent or lacking. Like, they got the win over the Storm early in the season, but like after that, people are like, how good's Parramatta? We're not really sure. But when the fucking chips are down, they seem to go flat.
Flaccid.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's like you're going out for a beautiful dinner. It might be your anniversary. You've gone for a beautiful meal and you've had a couple of drinks and everything's built into the moment.
Yeah.
And then your girl walks out and she's just got like the most sexy outfit on and the big fella downstairs goes, I don't want any part of this.
No, I'm checking out.
And he goes to bed and then you just, you
That's
spend
Parramatta.
you spend 9 months trying to
So you reckon that's Parramatta?
Oh, I think it could be, yeah.
So you think they're taking the fans out to dinners, treating them all good, but they take the fans back to their home and they don't deliver on the promise that was...
Deliver.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, they haven't delivered since 1980.
Yeah, it's like 400 years or something.
So Eels a bad date.
Eels a shit date.
Not a bad date. Shit route.
So friend zone material.
Well, I mean, if you... look, if I keep taking someone home and they can't get up for me, eventually I'm thinking it's me. I start questioning myself, and then I talk to my friends about it, and they go, it's not you, it's them.
And now you're down on confidence.
Now I'm
and
down
now
on
you're
confidence
feeling
as
bad
well.
about yourself.
And it's like, this guy's an asshole. The guy's being Parramatta.
And me being the,
Me being a...
the sexy femme who just wanted to have a nice night.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, look, I think with the young blood like Brown, who has shown a propensity for not having that problem.
No, individually, I'm sure
So
they're
maybe
all right.
he can bring that kind of attitude to the boys.
But that's what I'm saying. I'm saying this is like a night where they can assert themselves as a
good
deliverer.
Okay.
And where is this game being played?
It is...
Bluebet.
Bluebet
Oh,
Stadium.
it's at Bluebet.
Okay, I am going to go... What's crazy as well is like, you look at that back row, like look at that forward pack for Penrith. A couple of years ago, you'd be like, yeah, good forward pack. Now you look at it and you're like, holy fuck. They've got Fisher Harris, Viliami Kickout, Kurt Capewell, Isaiah Yeo, Api Coruscant. Like, that is arguably the best pack in the comp.
And is Martin on the bench?
Martin's coming off the bench.
That's nice. A nice problem to have.
Like, I mean, you go Origin, bit young, fucking Kiwi, was in the squad for Origin. I don't know where Moses Leota's at, but you know what I mean? All fucking representative stock.
But I do think that, the pack on the other side, if they play really well, could be close-ish to them. Like, I would even argue, I'd say Regan Campbell-Gillard, you could argue is a little bit better than Leota, even though Leota's form has been fucking incredible. Then you could say Fisher Harris has been just a bit better than Paulo, but Paulo's been fucking incredible.
Yep.
Isaiah Papali'i is the form back rower outside of Crichton in the comp. Mm-hmm. Ryan Madison has been fantastic since he came back. And then Nathan Brown, you would probably say Isaiah Yeo just got him covered, but he does have the ability to...
Yeah, but Nathan Brown gets tough cunt points.
Yeah, he does.
He does get tough cunt points. But Isaiah Yeo is tough in a different way. Like, he doesn't stop.
He's country tough.
Yeah, of course. And Isaiah Yeo's like such a great ball player. I'm just saying Nathan Brown, tough as cunt. Like, he's which gets you somewhere.
It does. If he's got cunt in him, you can't help it.
You got a lot of cunt, which is you want cunt,
You need a bit of cunt in your side.
Yeah.
If you're gonna get a premiership,
you've got to have cunt in your side.
Have to.
So I think it's going to be a fantastic game. I'm going to go Para for the win.
Okay.
Now, on to the lowest rating match of the round, I think.
Match of the round.
I'm picking Bulldogs for a famous win.
Spite bet. We got
No,
a
Spite bet. Holy shit.
Loved what I saw. Loved what I saw last week in the first half against Parramatta.
Pathetic.
The week before.
Oh, yeah.
Loved it.
Loved it.
Mate, I am bullish on the Bulldogs.
Did you love it?
Loved it.
No hint of
What
spite
happened?
bet
What
in
happened
there.
to taking your licks?
I'm covered in fucking blue paint. Like, that's taking my licks.
No, but like, see it through to the end, mate. You know what I mean?
Manly
Be honest.
Manly has nothing to do with New South Wales.
Be honest.
Be honest,
I'm
mate.
taking my licks.
Was Tommy named? Yeah. Fucking oath he was
Mate,
named.
the Seagulls line is 20.5 rugby league points. I think we gobble that up inside of 20 minutes.
Honestly?
That's the bet.
Yeah.
Minus 20.5. Thanks for coming.
Look at the changes made for the doggies. It's going to be a famous win.
Bailey Bondioto.
Is that?
Chris Patolo.
Are you serious?
Corey Allen.
They've changed the whole side.
Jackson
That's why I'm bullish.
Topine. Carl Flanagan's in. Flano's back. Lachlan Lewis.
Nick Kotrich? What with Nick? Their big signing.
That's why I'm bullish. Galvanised.
They broke COVID?
Not half the team. It's fucking 2 people.
Mate,
Go
go
of them are
up.
out. They're at
The
the
ins
Bondi
and the
Hotel.
outs.
4 of them were out. They're at the Bondi Hotel.
Look, the boys ripping and tearing. That's a great omen. Great
Can you
omen.
just go? Yeah. Can you just go back up to ins and outs? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 new ins.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 outs.
10.
Adam Elliott of biggest cock in the league fame, Brandon Wakeham, Corey Waddell, Dylan Napper, Nick Kotrix, Sienna Katoa, and Aaron Shoop.
Scoop.
Shoop.
Shoop.
Like Schweppes, but Shoop.
Well, yes, exactly, in that same sort of sound. I get it. Manly's going to have their way with this
How
side.
can you honestly sit here on your own show and lie to the people saying that you like the
You've
Bulldogs?
got-
That is the biggest load of shit I've ever heard in my life.
Look, it's just my opinion.
Do you want to have a bet on it?
It's not your opinion, though, mate. You've lost your way.
You want to bet on it?
Yeah, do you want to bet on it?
I don't want to do no bets. I don't want to do any more bets.
No. Stick with what your fucking opinion is, mate. If we win, we'll go covered in maroon for the rest of the season.
And
if we lose, rather.
If we win,
if you lose,
we shave your head.
We shave your head every week.
Every week. I do not take that bet.
Well, come on, mate. I love the Bulldogs.
Bulldogs 15 plus. Is Morgan Harper the most underrated centre in the game?
Yes.
He is so good.
Is he the best line runner?
And like he
Yeah.
just
In the comp?
But he also, I can't remember because obviously I blocked out the first 4 games of the year emotionally, but like I'm pretty sure he didn't even start the season in centre. I think Sully got injured and then he just got his chance, but he's just been shredding. He's not just like solid and dependable. He's actually like exemplary. He's like better than an average centre, and it's just like a diamond in the rough that we've uncovered.
But honestly, his line running is fucking elite.
Everything. He gives fucking great ball.
He does.
Like,
he's got one of the great mows all time.
great
Great
nut.
nut.
And he just goes about his business in a real professional manner.
Yeah.
You know, you're not seeing any sloppiness about this bloke.
But do you then look at from Manly, just where I've only can see 1 to 10 here, but like I'm just saying though, if you go from Tommy down, hold on, actually don't. Give me the bench. Holy shit. Dylan Walker, greatest 14 in the game right now.
Ben Travojevic, the future of the fucking league.
Burbo,
Not to buy
Kepi at
this.
13, not mad at
Carl
it.
Lawton, where's he been?
He's been pretty good.
Dude, Carl's
What
been
I'm
good
saying is like no one knew who Carl Lawton was, and now he's probably the best back row
in the
comp.
game. Ola Kawatu is the best back row in the game.
He is fucking
Carl Lawton
beast.
second.
Carl Lawton second. It's Ola Kawatu, then Carl.
Martin Tapau, best front row in the
What about
game.
Sirinen?
Curtis Siernan, well, he's not playing.
Okay. But when he plays, where does he...
Oh, he's probably
He's the best as
back row
well.
in the game.
Lachlan Croker,
it's Cam
taking the
Smith
mantle
off
off
it.
Cam Smith.
Yeah.
Cam retires, Croker takes over. Paseka, the biggest, the baddest, the strongest, the thickest.
Has Paseka, made any decisions about sort of rep career? He's Origin, right? I think he's New South Wales.
fucking big boy.
Did you see that kick he put in against the Titans, that grubber?
Yeah,
Like,
after a line break?
Yeah.
Wow.
The fuck, dude?
I've heard he was offered positions and he was like, listen, I want to commit myself to Manly for 2021.
Yeah, right. No, I don't want to fucking play Origin.
I don't want to know about rep footy this year.
No.
I'm all about winning a premiership for
Consolidating.
the Northern Peninsula.
Yeah.
Cherry Evans, obviously Queensland captain. Kieran Foran, probably the best 6 in the game. Ruben Garrick,
Best
best ring in the game. Look, I can go on and on.
Hasn't he hit a fucking bit of form?
Rich vein of form. Ruben, is he top point scorer or is close to the leading point scorer? Second to Cleary? So he'll be top now because Cleary's going to be out for a few weeks.
And fucking he spent the other weekend like missing on purpose to try and make the game close.
Yeah.
Do you know what I
He
mean?
was
Like if he actually tried his hardest, like he would be point scorer.
It'd be 80
top.
fucking nil that game, but he's like, you know what, I'm just going to miss a few here. Class from him.
Yeah.
Class.
Class for him and class from him.
From the Bulldogs' perspective, I actually really like Luke Thompson. I like Jack Hetherington. I think he's reined things in a little bit when it comes to obviously not.
He is good. He's the cunt we're talking about.
He has a lot of cunt.
In
and that's what you need.
Yeah.
I think the Bulldogs are progressing. I really do. Obviously,
Yeah.
those outs fucking hurt.
Yeah.
Bulldogs.
No, I agree. I agree though with Bulldogs progressing. Like their last couple of games, they've actually not looked. And this isn't meant to sound disrespectful, but it unfortunately will. They didn't look completely shit. Their defense seemed quite good, and then off the back of that, they were able to.
They
do
have a
some
crack.
things.
They do
They
have
had
a
a
crack.
I mean, they have a red hot crack. Now, Raiders v the Titans. The Titans looking to find some kind of sense of, I guess, they had so much promise, and then they look good, and then they don't look good, and one half
Yeah.
footy. You know what I mean? Like it's like sometimes you're sitting there going, "Holy fuck, these guys look like a top 6 side, like unbelievable attack." And then they struggle in defence.
They're like a flaky friend who you just can't depend on. Sometimes they like, oh, dude, yeah, he's around. What a legend. Fucking yeah, he's killing it. And then it's like they don't answer your
And then
calls
he's got
for
to miss
fucking-
it.
Yeah, he's got to miss it.
Maybe
It's
when
like,
you're paying for the night, he's there.
yes,
But if he has to put in a bit of,
bit of
cash
effort,
himself,
bit of cash, then they know what to be saying.
doesn't
That's
want
the
to borrow
Titans.
it. So if they can bring a bit of cash to the night,
Yeah, front
can
up
go
some
right.
cash.
and this is a tough game to pick because you don't know what Titans are going to rock up.
Or same with the Raiders.
Yeah.
Croker's back.
Kroger's back, the captain.
Like
he
you
will
don't
help
know
a lot.
if it's going to be a Canberra Raiders that get out to a nice healthy lead and then just go fuck it, let's just roll over.
Let's let him come back.
Let's let him come back and lose. That's fine.
I
Let's
also
do that.
like Hudson Young back. I don't know how long he was out for, but I rate Hudson Young.
Has Campbell been dropped? He has.
Who?
Jaden Campbell from the Titans. Has he?
Well, Brimson's back.
Yeah, but Campbell,
Jaden Campbell was so
he was
sick,
good.
dude.
so good.
But what do you do with him? Where would you put him? 14?
Maybe
Isn't he-
14.
But isn't he kind of a bit too spindly?
Well, he is small, but like just keep him in the side.
Mate,
He just
what I
offers
saw
so
of
much.
him when he played Manly, I'm like, I'd fucking start him at
Well, I mean, you couldn't start him over Brimson, but I know what you mean. He's certainly good. Like, he certainly was a fucking...
You don't
he's
reckon you
gun.
could?
Over Brimson, who's an Origin player?
I think you keep Brimo in
Fuck
there.
no.
I'm just saying he was
not
exciting
what?
as fuck.
He's not injured, so it doesn't even have him in the outs.
Yeah, they're almost...
it doesn't, yeah.
They're
wow.
not good enough to be, like, just offloading a player who sort of came in and was their best.
He was
while
really,
filling
really
in.
fucking good. Corey Thompson being back is actually really fucking big for the Titans. I do think Croker being back is big for the Raiders because he is such a big part of that club. Papali'i being back, I think the Raiders... I've kind of, even though they lost to the Dragons in the end there, I do think that they're building something. So I am going to be tipping the Raiders, but it's going to be a very tight game.
Yeah, I'm Raiders. I'm with you.
I'm Titans. The Raiders have just let me down time and time and time and time and time again, and I just can't do it to myself. Even if they win, I'll feel comfortable just knowing that I didn't fucking get on them. No offense, but like it's just been that sort of season.
Knights v the Cowboys. Kalen Ponga's
Ponga's
back.
in.
Mitchell Pearce is back.
Ponga's in.
Love that.
Jacob and Daniel Saifidi. Daniel Saifidi is
Beast.
making his case for one of, if not the best front row in the game. One of. Fisher Harris is still the best, but form-wise in Origin, Daniel Saifidi topped the meters for forwards 2 games in a row.
He's ripping, dude. Daniel in a rich vein of form. I wonder what it's like being a twin and having your brother just be... Like, he's not so much better, but he kind of is so much better in the same... But, like, will Jacob... Is Jacob got it in him for Origin, you reckon?
I'm not sure. He has been playing really good this year. It's probably been his best season. He's fought his way into a starting side. He's kept Clemmer, I'm pretty sure.
That's true. He has kept Clemmer
to the
out.
bench.
Who's Connor Watson got to fuck to get a starting side? I know he's a good 14, but, like, Jesus Christ.
Do you think that's a hate bench? Like, because he won't fuck him?
I think it must be.
It
like,
has.
what is fucking...
If it isn't a hate bench,
I'm not here.
I'm not here, mate.
Because
I don't exist. I haven't been doing this podcast.
It's like Adam O'Brien, with the greatest respect, not good looking, and he's jealous of Connor because he is hot and he can play footy. And it's like, oh, this guy's got everything I didn't have.
But think about it. Aidan O'Brien wants to fuck Connor. Connor said no. Connor's on the bench.
Makes sense.
It does. Casting couch sort of shit.
That's casting couch stuff.
So are we saying...
What, you reckon Fitzgibbon is
Yeah.
better than Connor?
Well, I mean, no one is.
Barnett better than Connor?
Look.
Suaso Sue?
So are we saying that if he does...
No.
If he does get a start, does that mean that they've hooked up?
No,
Well, look, I mean, it's
Look, if they
you
keep
could
lo-
say that. But I think Connor's also a bit more of a man of principle, and he's also like, I'm too hot for you, Adam. I'm not going to do it.
So this could be like workplace like harassment from O'Brien.
Well, potentially, but
Pressuring him to hooking up.
I think inter-club sort of things like that is allowed in rugby league.
In rugby league.
I also
so,
don't think Connor's the sort of guy that's just going to abandon his morals. No,
Yeah,
he's not
true.
that sort of guy.
So you think in the
a man of
past...
principle.
Do you think in the past people have been benched for being too hot?
Yeah, Craig Wing had to come off the bench for Origin. He's on the hottest. I mean, listen, I would have done it as well, but like, you know, he's just too hot.
He is fucking too hot.
Just way too hot.
It's sad that Watson's career is being held back because he is so hot. But he does have a career after footy, obviously.
Oh, absolutely does. Runway model. I don't know what else the hot people do after their career.
Photos and that.
Photos.
Podcaster. He's a podcaster now. Got a show
on KO.
Yep.
Movies. I mean,
Movies.
You know,
He looks like a fucking Hemsworth brother.
Hemsworth.
Point
Like
Break.
Hemsworth's time is fleeting.
Yeah.
like he's
The
not going
next
to be.
door.
Well, Hemsworth's looking over his
They're
shoulder
gonna-
going, Connor's got what, like 10 years left of his career? I got to fucking make money now.
They're going to need to replace Hemsworth at some point,
Yes.
and Connor obviously first in line for that gig.
I'd actually be telling Connor to grow his hair out now, just as sort of a like, almost
backup.
even a bigger flex, just so everyone can see what Thor's going to look like.
Like it.
Grow it out.
No, I like it a lot.
So Thor reboot with Connor Watson.
Yep,
Yes.
love it.
I'm going to go with Kalen Ponga back, Mitchell Pearce back. I think they're going to get the job done
Knights,
against Cowboys.
I'm going the Knights.
Knights as well, 1 to
Knights.
12 for me. Broncos v Sharks, match of the round. Broncos paying $3. Sharks paying $1.39. Broncos 15 plus.
Broncos 15 plus, eh?
Ins, we got the great MILF back, Croft.
Oh, how
Corey Oates is
good.
back, David
Cody's
Mead, Asako, Ricky, Staggs, Kennedy. Look at those ins.
Hold on. Woo up.
Huh?
Well,
Oh,
right.
it says it here.
Yeah,
that
it
he's
says it
in.
here.
Oh, he's 21.
Okay,
They've
so
done their old whoopsie.
where's Croft?
Croft at
back
7.
at 7.
Yes.
Tyson Gamble and Croft. What's that for halves pairings for the season? 80? Why? I'm not against it, but like, why is Croft back? Is that a form thing in the lower grades, or is it if someone injured?
Well, Carmichael Hunt's been dropped, I think.
Shocker. Right, for Brody. Where's Albert Kelly?
Maybe injured, not sure.
Right. Well, it's a great looking side. That's what I'd start there.
Stags being back is good.
That's huge.
And
omens.
Corey Oates playing.
Huge omens.
Katoni's a motherfucker.
He's
That's a big up.
Yeah.
That's a huge up. Herbie, like a good centre pairing there. Really
I like
good
Herbie.
pairing.
I like Stags.
But Sharky's in a rich vein of form at the moment. Are they going for 5 straight?
Yes, they are.
Yeah, they've got the second longest win streak in the comp.
They're looking good. The
Sean
Sharkies.
Johnson's future is sorted.
Yeah, playing comfortably.
The Sharks are the biggest turnaround outside of Manly with Tommy back. The Sharks are the biggest turnaround in the comp outside of Manly.
They look shot to pieces. You're like, oh, they didn't look like they were going to win another game there for a second.
Yes.
Is it,
Whereas the Broncos now look like that side.
am I crazy, Eddie? I'm going to go the Broncos.
Nah, I'm Sharks.
I'm going Broncos.
I'm Sharks. I'm all over them. Sharks 13+.
I don't like the Sharks. I don't know.
I know you don't. You haven't bet on the Sharks all year.
No, dude, I don't like them. Like, as in, I like the players and stuff. It's not that, but the Sharks. I just don't like the Sharks. I hate the Broncos, but they're such losers. I can like bet on them and not care. And I like Stags. I like Corey Oates. I like Herbie Farmer.
As if you don't like seeing the Broncos on the bottom of the ladder.
That's a great point.
We're going to destroy the Bulldogs. We need this.
I'm back. Sharks to win.
Thought so.
Sharks to win well.
Broncos 15+. Now on to the Tigers versus Rabbitohs. Tigers paying $7.
Yeah.
Holy fuck.
I think that's almost value.
I think it's value massively.
Do you know what I mean? $7 is fucking outrageous.
Mate, the Dogs are paying 23 against Manly, I think. Not 23.
Seven.
No. 23 for 30.
No, 650.
So
that's
value.
They're longer. Tigers are longer.
Oh.
$7.
And the Rabbits are like, Rabbits have got a bed shit in them.
Rabbits have got a bed shit in them, and they almost lost to them last time. I just don't think that's happening, though, this time. I think Latrell, too hot, too thick, too powerful. He scores 2 tries comfortably, maybe 3.
And last game, they nearly beat them, too.
I know, that's what I mean, but I'm saying, like, Trell's now going, not on my terms. Trell's like, fuck that. I'm going to score shitloads of points. It's going to be an absolute mauling. The Tigers are fucking losers.
But they are a merger club, and it wasn't your merger theory. Whatever you think, you do the opposite.
If you go by the rugby league truth, that is that you can never trust a dirty merger club, then the Tigers win. And they don't have a picture on Kemamalo, even though it's his 3rd game. So disrespectful. So that's actually very good for the Tigers as well. But I can't bet on them. And I never listen to the DMC truth, but I'm just saying that Souths are going to smash them, and they won't. They'll lose now. Tigers will win.
He's on the Tigers.
Tigers 1-12.
I think, like, if the Rabbits are going to have to really and truly fuck this to lose, I think that the Rabbits win and win well. But it wouldn't surprise me if the Tigers won.
No, I think
Does that make sense?
I think the Tigers are going to put up a massive fight, and it's going to be a close game. I actually think it's going to be a big match from the Tigers, but I'm going to pick the Rabbitohs. But I think it's going to be an entertaining match, just like their last match they had, because they've got a lot to fight for, the Tigers.
Do they?
That's the last game.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is it a bye round, or is that just the last game?
It.
We just flew through it.
We flew through
it. Make sure the pre-sale of the hoodies.
Yes, pre-sale hoodies ends this Friday. The bio of our Instagram, or just go to hellosport.com.au, merch section.
Yep.
Ends this Friday.
And also make sure to comment on About Even's YouTube your bet of the round. So who you think's going to win and by how much? So either 1-12 or 13+.
Yep.
Tom and Eddie will choose one. They'll let you know. And then if you beat them, Tom and Eddie will send you a case of Bloke in a Bar.
Yep.
That's right.
Grab a case of Bloke in a Bar this week. Go to our site. Type in your postcode. It will show you the closest bottle-os. Grab a hat from bloke.shop or join the Bloke Club at bloke.club. Thank God this is over.
You going to have a shower? Like, how are you going to...
Thank God this is over.
It's
been a sad, sad time. But we can move past this now.
Yeah, sure.
We can move past this. Broncos building nicely. Reynolds, Queensland bouncing back game 3. I can see it all now.
Yeah.
As usual, I'll go and fuck myself. Bye-bye.